to the world of the locals. Don't worry if we forget the incels. Everyone else has. And in the end, we think fuck that we're not them. Oh yeah! It's that time again, 9 o'clock p.m. Do you know where your locale is? It is time to take a moment, take a journey with the prophet. So come hold my hand. Wait, that's not my hand. We are better than crystal meth. It's the U-I fucking S. The U-I-S. The U-I fucking S. The U-I-S. Welcome to the U-I fucking S. Welcome to the U-I-S. Welcome to the U-I-S.
All good people are asleep and dreaming.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the UIS. Theme song seemed like it was having a bit of trouble tonight. I think it's because I got that kaiju shit going on in the background. Never really had a problem with it before, but you know, that's what my stream normally does. Capital I intermittent. Hey family, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you and all that jazz. Let's see here. Kind of let time get away from me and realize it was almost 9 o'clock. Let's see. Subscriber goals. No. Just really tired, huh? Well, it's the weekend. That's when you're supposed to get all caught up, right? I mean, that's the rumor. Doesn't really work in practice. Oh, so we are going to be watching the content cop that was made on idubbbz. Everyone seems to have heard the same things that I've heard, which is it was good. Much, much better than that piece of trash that idubbbz released. Frankly, much better than anything he's released in years. Didn't get much sleep, choke on your spit. Ugh. Gotta lay on your stomach then, right? Get one of those sham wows. Really absorbent. Wake up gasping for air. Ugh. That sounds pretty damn horrible. Not something I want to wake up to. Is it like, what do they call that? When you have to have like a machine. A heretic? Can't think of the name. It's not septum, not deviated septum, but something with your nostrils and sinuses and whatever. And yeah. People have to wear like one of those, I think it's called a sleep pap or something like that. Not sure. Apnea. That's it. Sleep apnea. Yeah. Is it that? No, I don't want to do that. I want this over here. Yeah, just put it wherever you want to. I click over here, and then you decide to put it over there. Just popping cough drops like candy. Well, they basically are candy. There's not really a whole lot of medicine in there. COVID. Ugh. Pin the COVID. Pin the COVID. COVID, I think. All right. So, had a decent night last night. A little slow to start, but the normal characters showed up in Kick. Watched Familia DSP. Said some slurs, things like that. Stuff we can't do here. Can't see the holdouts. No, it's not. The chat window's not on. I don't think I have the chat in this one. Let me go over to this one. That one's a little better. That one's a little better. And I'm not sure if anyone else is over on YouTube, but yeah, come on over to Kick. I stopped even bothering with the viewer count thing. It just depresses me, so I just don't give a fuck. Just see what it is later, if I even bother. So today I played a new game all day long. It was called Surviving Ceres, something like that. Whatever that dwarf planet is called. Is it a dwarf planet or is it someone's moon? Ceres. But it was pretty good. It was, a base building game. But you are just on a rock by yourself. Ceres, Ceres. And so you have to build a base, do all the normal stuff, gain all this experience and upgrade your equipment into where you end up terraforming the planet. And then you bring colonists in and you have to manage them and stuff like that. And so I thought it was pretty damn nice. And are there aliens? Well, hell yeah, they're aliens. Immediate aliens. You can just see them, but they don't mess with you. They don't mess with you until you start terraforming. Then they start attacking the base. Well, hopefully you don't work somewhere where they can pass that on to someone. Except for the other employees, that's fine. But, I don't know if you were in food or some kind of customer service where spread it over. What is this? The Lightkeeper, our new horror game? But why is it coming up under... Never mind. Guess I could... go over to this and actually show you what I'm looking at, but be secretive. All right, let's turn this kaiju thing off. Come on, pin it in the right place. There we go. That's close enough. I'm not getting sick. Nope. Ain't nobody killing me. Hells no. Dean, how you doing? Welcome. All right, so let's go over to the other scene. I might switch over to the other full screen one, but this one's good for now. This one's fine. Everything's fine. Guess let me get that content cop queued up. I'm still standing. Content cop. That's got to suck for you, idubbbz. Type the word content cop or the words content cop. First one. Man, he's not doing well. But then again, he may not even know. He may not even know that he's not doing well because he's so just sheltered and has all his little echo chambers around him. And I still think that he's policed with what he actually sees. Like he sees some bad stuff, but that's only when he's watching it with his wife. Oh, he gave his audience to Sam Hyde pretty much after that documentary. It was like, I was on the fence at first when that documentary came out. I was like, okay, it was a big joke or whatever, and Sam Hyde doesn't really mean any harm. And then idubbbz came out, and even then I didn't really think it was that bad. And yeah, and then it was just crashed out from there. Well, we were going to watch it last night, but it got too late. We ended up being like, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was just not going to start with that. All right. How was Mother's Day? Yeah, it was all right for me. I didn't do anything. I, called my mom, stuff like that. I'm sure, Christina doesn't really care too much about that kind of stuff, but, got stuff from the daughter. So she's happy. All right, let me change my input here. Too much sweets. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, I think the moment he came on and made a reaction video basically to everyone calling him a cuck and saying his wife's a whore, especially after all the videos of him bashing whores, stuff like that. And that was just a really, really bad take by him, and it hasn't gotten back yet. Never will. If what Kino Casino is saying is true and what they were reporting, that Anissa's, out getting some dick. Even if he, divorces her, I don't think it will ever be the same. It's like everyone's going to sort of feel betrayed by him. And if he just switches right back to being what he was, it was like, well, then which one are you? Neither one of you. You're just fucking playing you're LARPing. Which one is the real idubbbz? If either one is. Yep, everyone is over on Kick for the most part. Got family. We got Dean in here. And that mouse in your pocket. Chato will probably wander around. Roboto was in chat last week, I think. But no, he's not over in chat that often. AP comes over sometimes. A lot of the old school ones, don't really see them a whole lot. Like Jabriath Boy which, Jabriath Boy has a lot of health problems, and so he's not on as much as he used to be. I'm thinking, Michael, Super Chicken, he's not feeling all that great usually these days, and so his attendance is, and who else was there? Of course, Jimmy J. Jimmy J, he had his family problems and then got way too involved in work. And so I haven't seen much of him lately. And everybody else, I don't know. I don't know if it, when exactly the moment was, if it was when I sort of got burned out and stopped streaming every night. It seems like there was a lot before. Then I stopped, came back, stopped again for a while. So it's hard to build it back up, I guess. Which that's fine. Turned into butterflies. And yes, some art, some exactly were that, in the beginning, every night we had Inward Boy and we had Psychosis in chat every single night. And, they had to break out on their own and, do stuff. Can't fault anybody for that. Definitely not. AP too. He was before he was making any content. He was just in chat every night. Medusa did run some people off with his actions sometimes, but he calmed down a bit. Of course, back when we had mods and people went a little nuts there. Had to cut that shit off. All right. We ready? I'm ready. Here we go. Make sure the volume's up. Volume's up. There's good. Everything. I could not find any of the pictures I was looking for last night. Everything was kind of what we thought it was, like LARPing. Not LARPing. Well, yeah, really, it is LARPing. It's actual LARPing. The cosplay stuff. Everything was cosplay. Everything. There was no real ones. But there was some, I think, because there were a couple of Millennium whatever requests to take down information. And so I think maybe those might have been. So I may have to go digging a little deeper. Actually really get the Tor browser out and see what I can find. All right, here we go. World Skipper's here. We can start now. Content cop.
We think that
America. Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause.
Go to the full screen one instead of this bullshit. There we go.
This relationship. Stop it, I'm powerless. No, you have a ton of power. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich.
Here we go back.
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate whatsoever on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I'm any better than any of these people that I was making content videos on. And
What we do here is go back.
Was that White Bowser?
Hey there, folks. I'm your local content cop. I make sure everyone's content is up to par, and if it's not, I will bring them to justice. We've all made content that we're not very proud of. You know, maybe you made music for a very controversial project that you might regret, or maybe you went on stream and shouted that America deserved a terrorist attack. I'll spare you any further examples. But on today's episode of Content Cop, our theme is friendship. Today we're going to be talking about a former great on YouTube that has turned into one of the biggest disingenuous, hypocritical, spineless pussies that I've ever seen on this website. That's right, we're going to be talking about Anissa Jamha's husband, idubbbz, otherwise known as Ian. Some people call him Ian. I'm going to be calling him Ian. Oh, come on, Cameroon. You're just mad that idubbbz doesn't say the naughty slurs anymore. He's very mature now. I think you need to grow up. That actually has nothing to do with it. I honestly could not care less what kind of words he uses in his videos. Also, that maturity narrative is complete bullshit. He does damn near everything that he apologized for to this day. Most importantly, we're going to be talking about how dog shit his content is now, but before I get ahead of myself, let me fill you in on why we're here and who we're going to be talking about. If you're very keenly aware of this situation and you just want to get on to the video, here's a timestamp, or you can use the chapter feature on YouTube. Otherwise, let's get into it.
I don't know if he goes into the fact that he owes everything to Max Mofo. Not just a little bit. He owes it all. Max Mofo is the one who gave him the break. He was just a schlub, just making videos. They were good, but no one ever saw them. It wasn't until Max Mofo brought him into the spotlight. Watch him from a steakhouse. Well, what steakhouse is it? And are you getting it medium rare or rare at least? Not going to get it well done, are you?
To the Filthy Frank Show.
idubbbz gained popularity with his collaborations with Filthy Frank & Co., as well as his edgy and offensive humor seen in Kickstarter Crap, Bad Unboxing, and Content Cop. Despite being really funny at the time, his offensive vocabulary would likely not fly on YouTube today.
A single piece of paper that says
Nice friendship.
Now let's bring in one of his close friends for over 8.5 years, Ethan and Gila Klein of H3H3 Productions. Their videos together marked some of the most iconic collaborations during that era of YouTube. As times changed, so did the creators. Filthy Frank went on to become Joji, Max Mofo and Anything for Views would start their channel, Cold Ones, H3H3.
But anything for views, you don't even have to you ain't got to even mention that stupid ass. I mean, he's not right, but he's just he just so happens to live in Australia. That was his stroke of good luck, that he lived near Max Mofo. I don't particularly find him all that funny or interesting. He's still sucking off of Max Mofo.
H3 would focus on their podcast, which didn't go without its own controversies over the years, which left idubbbz to move on and try different types of content like documentaries on enigmatic figures of the internet. As Ian moved away from his old content, he would run into a few of his own controversies, which we will be dabbling into today. But what I really want to nail in here is throughout all of that, H3 always stood by Ian, even at the expense of his PR. After his documentary with Sam Hyde, Ian's content would really start to lose his soul, which we'll get into later, but let's fast forward a bit. Enter Hassan Piker.
Well, I mean, it was starting to get dog shit before that documentary. The Dax Flame documentary, it can fuck off. You know, the Airsoft Fatty one was good, you know, for what it was. Fuck Dax Flame. That's fucking autistic.
America deserves 9/11. Bloodthirsty, violent pig dog.
A hype beast, polarizing socialist streamer, and former co-host of Leftovers, a show on the H3 podcast. Hassan and Ian were very friendly. Everything was fine until the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel, which led to a falling out between Ethan and Hassan. More on that later. After a long back and forth, this rift peaked with Ethan's return to H3 Productions releasing content nuke Hassan Piker. While Ethan's fans praised it, Hassan's fans and orbiters like Denims and Frogan did not, which drew the attention of psychopath Bad Empanada. Trust me, more on him later. Since then, Ethan has been harassed by multiple snark subreddits, had CPS called on his kids, and even had 2 human skulls sent to his house. Meanwhile, Ian's former editor Froggy Tonic, whom Anissa, Ian's wife, was still publicly engaging with on Twitter, started...
I think it's just funny that how people react to receiving certain things. It's like, I don't know how you guys think I would react to getting human skulls sent in the mail, but they would make it onto the live stream before anybody was called. I wouldn't believe it was real anyways, but still, it would get live streamed.
Posting tweets harshly attacking Ethan and Hilo with misinformation. When Ethan asked for Ian's support, he chose to stay out of it until he didn't by choosing to release a dogshit video titled Content Cop H3. With all that out of the way, let's continue. Ian, that one was for you. I hope burping is still funny. To start, let's look at Ian's video, I Miss the Old idubbbz, and see what his principles are now that he's above his old edgy content.
I have made some cruel, hurtful content. The content I'm talking about specifically
is that mustache.
Top videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I am any better than any of these people that I was making Content Cop videos on. And I'm not. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate.
Okay, so Content Cop videos were apparently bad. Ian doesn't think it's okay to morally grandstand and thinks that Content Cop videos are hurtful and cruel.
Someone disappeared, huh?
No, he's just his chin disappeared.
Oh.
So instead of changing your Content Cop format to not morally grandstand or whatever, you do the same thing, but instead of the use of slurs, you just make a hit piece on your friend of nearly 9 years. Then you include people like Denims, who have promoted malicious misinformation that has directly led to in-real-life harassment of Ethan's kids. So are you pro-harassment or are you anti-harassment?
I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way.
I would make, a couple videos, the Content Cop and the Content Deputy, and then I would say, okay, I'm done. For me, it was done. It was not done for the people who watched my videos. It was not done for the person who was being harassed.
I didn't
She needs extra harassment for wearing a fucking Iron Maiden t-shirt. She got no business wearing that shit.
plan on making a Content Cop on H3.
I don't know, maybe you just lack empathy?
I have always thought that I was an empathetic person.
No,
I think only
pathetic.
in these past couple of years have I gained the ability, empathy. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32, I've acquired empathy.
No, Ian. It is pathetic.
You know, my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up. But it...
Yeah, what a perfect excuse. You haven't filled your empathy meter enough. I'm sorry I folked you over, sir, but alas, my empathy meter is only 3/4 the way full. Ian, you were 27 while making those videos, but you're telling me all of a sudden over 5 years you just, boom, gained empathy? I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that you would not have been able to make that content in the post-2020 adpocalypse era of YouTube, given the fact that you were teasing a new Content Cop before that. But no. It's because you decided to start caring and feeling empathy. Where was all of this so-called empathy in the H3 Content Cop? You never mentioned CPS in your video, and your veiled attempt...
With all the money he has, couldn't he get his tooth like fixed by a professional and not have a gold trashy thing on it? What the fuck?
At empathy was only sprung by the YouTube apology ratings guy not changing his rating for Ethan's apology video.
But I asked him if I
hadn't responded the way that I had, how would the video have ended differently? And he said, oh, absolutely.
This doesn't make you look good or caring in any way. It makes you look manipulative.
I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I am any better than any of these people.
That's
that I was
exactly
making
what you
content
get
videos
for being
on.
filthy
And
rich.
Ian, you are a massive hypocrite.
Yeah.
And do you know what else is massive?
We're going to take a pause from the H3 drama for a moment and take a look at Ian's changed content. It's fucking dog shit. Unlike Ian, I'm actually going to try to provide some context here.
Yeah, doesn't he... There's something with snacks? He, like, counts the number of different colors or just something just awful.
idubbbz would crack well over 1 million views for every video he uploaded since mid-2015. This wasn't until 2022 after things began to dwindle for him, as his videos went from well-thought-out comedy videos or goofy bad unboxing videos to ranking playground equipment. To put it simply, this content is boring.
And you know that when you have 8 million subscribers, it doesn't matter how many dead channels there are that subscribe to you. There's just a shit ton of people, and your content is just going to happen to end up playing. You watch a video, and it comes on afterwards. Maybe not a whole lot, but when you have 8 to 9 or 7 or 8 million subscribers, it's going to happen. You're going to end up getting 100,000 views. You could get 100,000 views without anyone actually watching a second of your video. It was just on the background, just played.
And genuinely unfunny.
You can get pretty dangerous with swing sets.
Oh, Jesus
especially if
Christ.
you're doing it side by side with another person.
And this isn't because he's not doing commentary videos anymore. Whenever he does, those suck as well.
Yeah. What the fuck? Oh my God, he's +8 strength. My God, I knew someone who changed their last name too. It's just as bad. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who may have done it and they're just fine, but there are 2 examples I know of: him and this other douche.
Studded leather sash gives me 8 strength and 8 agility, which no. Let's do that over again. Why did I say agility? 8 strength and 8 stamina.
It's very evident that Ian has lost a sense of humor. Maybe this is a side effect of gaining a quarter bar of that empathy meter, but it feels like he's lost any sense of irony. In this video, he basically makes a pseudo content cop on carton arcs. It was very poorly received. It's just very apparent that Ian just doesn't get it.
Yes, it's very easy to call these people unhinged. Another word you can use is disabled. Their brain isn't working like yours or mine. For some people, they feel like they have
group me
to
into
answer
your
the
shit.
door.
What the fuck? Yes, Ian, responding to someone in public who's talking to you makes you disabled. You're a retard. You're fucking retarded. You're disabled. Because you respond to someone in public, you're fucking disabled.
Yo, is this person fucking retarded?
Yes.
Before you say that people stopped watching because he stopped doing all the series that he was known for, he tried returning to bad unboxing, but it just felt soulless.
Good craftsmanship. Oh, I like that. I feel like a little pupil. Oh, it's big girl panties. You think I'm gonna wear this? I'm not a large. I'm a medium, homesprung.
Like, he didn't allow people to send in fan mail, probably because he was scared of his own audience.
I've learned a lot since the last bad unboxing. Number 1, do not trust strangers to send you packages.
Like, nobody cares about the packages that your wife ordered from your Discord on Amazon.
Oh
They
my
want to see the
God.
whimsical shit that your audience sends you to get a reaction out of you.
That's what made it
The
funny.
only good piece of content around this era was his collaboration with Max and Chad, not only because it was nostalgic, but because Max and Chad are genuinely funny.
Create a clash. Punching, boxing, fighting. Money. Money? Sponsorship. Okay. Manscaped. Yeah. Items.
Failure.
Charity. I was just kidding.
Max and Chad haven't aged one day. Meanwhile, Ian just looked like he got out of rehab for meth. Most underwhelming reunion I've ever seen. If this was Ian from 7 years ago, this would have been a lot less dry. I feel like he's constantly trying to be on his best behavior for the mob. It's very clear the juxtaposition between Max and Chad versus Ian. Ian looks depressed. damn near soulless. And as a former fan of idubbbz, it was hard to come to terms with the fact that Ian just isn't funny anymore, which sucks. Alpha Bravo, this is Flaming Pegasus. We're out here looking for Deputy Washburn. He's been missing for a while.
That Ian's real name, I believe, Washburn. You should have just shown him from the waist down. That would have been better.
Two placed.
Yeah, implying he has no balls. Because that would be a lot. It would be in the, you know, the vein of Leafy, and oh, he's not missing, but his chin is. Well, his balls are missing. It's a backflow preventer. It's a big fucking backflow preventer.
Before we get on to our video's focal point, I feel it's important to give a bit of context on some people that are pertinent to the situation with H3. First up, we have Sean Damn it, I said people who are pertinent to the situation.
Solve all of our problems, we would have socialism at this point. If someone just went out of their way and
So first up, we have Frogan.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is anyways.
I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
The next day.
You're joining them, you're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America. And they posted it in my head. I'm like, based? Based?
A Hassan Orbiter, Twitch streamer, and moderator for Hassan Piker. Other than her close association to Hassan and just being extremely unlikable, Frogan is notable for being kind of the first domino to this situation. Oh yeah, also she was twice nominated for Rising Star of the Year at the Streamer Awards. On October 7th, after Hamas's attack on an Israeli music festival, Frogan tweeted this.
Leftists preach and foam at the mouth at the thought of a revolution happening in America. But as soon as one happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong.
After this quite insensitive tweet, Ethan Klein quietly unfollowed her on Twitter, which caused Frogan to have a giant meltdown. She started tweeting a bunch of shit and crashing out on Discord and went on stream and started throwing shots at Ethan Klein.
If you are so fucking close-minded that you can imagine that the suffering of an Israeli person is valid, then you're lost. And the same goes for Israelis. And again, I say this to them blue in the fucking face.
Bro.
It's not wrong to think that a terrorist attack against an innocent group of people is gross, especially while acknowledging the many problems with the Israeli government. This would just cause a shit-slinging match between Ethan and Frogan, and before we go further, we need to introduce our next character. Enter Denims! She is a much more popular Hassan waiting room, and for whatever reason gets a lot more attention than Frogan, which I'm sure has everything to do with her riveting, groundbreaking commentary.
Even if you are forming any memories at 4, you're not going to be able to remember them past like 15. You have maybe 1 or 2 memories. The average age of adults' earliest memories is 3.5 years old. You're not really forming memories at 3.
A group including Denims and Frogan hosted a panel at TwitchCon where they created a racial tier list. At the top you had Arab and at the bottom you had Love Sabra. And if you know what Sabra actually means, not the hummus, then you'll understand why it comes off as racist. I wonder who appeared in that tier list.
This person is one of my favorite people, Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
You guys are missing a category for Zionist.
Well, obviously it's Love Sabra, right?
Yeah,
it has to be.
That's easy.
Now let me introduce the top of this little pyramid scheme we got going on here, Hassan Piker. If you'd like a more in-depth history on Hassan, I'd recommend watching this video by June the King. It goes way more in-depth into Hassan than I'm willing to go into today, and the link will be in the description. To briefly summarize Hassan's content, he's an extreme leftist political streamer with breathtaking boots-on-the-ground coverage.
We did it successfully. We stopped Vladimir Putin from invading Ukraine. Or maybe that was never gonna fucking happen. Like I said, it was never gonna fucking happen. They'll be like, tomorrow, there's a war tomorrow. There's a war tomorrow, there's a war tomorrow, there's a war tomorrow. And the tomorrow never comes. And when there's no war tomorrow, they're like, you're lying. You're fucking lying, dude. It's gonna happen.
He's also grade A at taking criticism.
I believe you've done a couple videos about how dog shit I am, I think.
Did you watch the videos?
No, of course not. I have a policy of not really watching videos such as that one, specifically because it will frustrate me.
I've gotten numb to the criticism. Like, it's not. As a matter of fact, I seek it out now.
You want to debate about a video you didn't even watch?
Why? Yeah, of course.
And he also has this quirk of blaming everything or assuming everyone who disagrees with him has ties to the disgraced political streamer Destiny.
It's 100% like fucking rabid Destiny fans, dude.
It's quite the strange deflection considering he
Rabid?
fits that category perfectly. He's also known for deflecting criticism by blaming the genocide in Gaza.
Rabid Destiny fans? I don't think I've ever met a rabid Destiny fan. Put the chat on. Might as well.
Go fucking yell at streamers for not covering sufficiently the ongoing active genocide in Gaza instead of coming in here and fucking chirping at me.
But the main takeaway is Hassan is a socialist grifter and a walking example of a hypocrite down to his lifestyle and actions. Our next character isn't necessarily a friend of idubbbz, as far as we know at least, but he is a central figure to this situation. Bad Empanada is a psychopath that nobody, including
I thought it was enchilada.
Hassan, likes.
I'm never gonna watch a Bad Empanada video on the stream. I'm just letting you guys know. You're out of your fucking mind, okay? You think I want him to write like 700 hours worth of new YouTube essays about how I have wronged him? I don't want that. I don't want that at all, okay? He would perhaps benefit tremendously if I did watch his YouTube videos on this channel, but I'm never gonna fucking do that. I have an official blockade on Bad Empanada videos on this broadcast while I'm live. That's number one. And number two, he's not just mean on Twitter. He is a psychopath. He is not just mean on Twitter. He is the most insane person on Twitter.
That is until
Hey,
Empanada
cringe
started
minion.
going batshit crazy towards Ethan Klein. Then Hassan and his orbiters started peddling him constantly.
Oh, dude. Okay. Okay, critical support to Bad Empanada has gone up by wide margins now, okay? Oh, dude, Bad Empanada went from bad to good Empanada. Bad Empanada went from Bad Empanada to based Empanada.
To show a really easy example of why Bad Empanada is a psychopath, here's a clip of him playing a game looking to shoot and kill IDF secretaries. For those who don't know, Israeli-born citizens are required to do mandatory IDF military service, including Ethan's wife Ela, who was a secretary.
I'd like to pay tribute to Ethan Klein and the new Twitch TOS that declares Zionism. Zion is the slur. I'd like to pay tribute to him by playing the first in Al-Aqsa video game where you kill Zionist soldiers as a Palestinian resistance fighter, which is the glider level. Is the Israeli army a bunch of Ethan Kleins? Like, they're all on a fucking Ozempic binge. They don't understand what's going on around them. They haven't noticed me. Where do they keep the secretaries? In here? I'm hunting for secretaries right now. Secretary got...
Another example of this guy just being a fucking peach is when he used out-of-context clips to paint some narrative that Ethan and Gila's children were contracting giardia and other unknown diseases from eating dog shit and trying to paint Ethan and Gila as bad parents. Oh, and of course Denim's reacted to it and promoted the idea of CPS being called through her chat.
Covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit. I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something.
And CPS did end up getting called, which Bad Empanada tried to take credit for. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to list everything else on screen that he's done. Just take a look if you're interested. This final character is also a big part of the dominoes falling between idubbbz and Ethan. It's idubbbz's former editor, Froggy Tonic. Not to be confused with a fighter who was kicked off Creator Clash 2, Froggy Fresh. The reason this guy's relevant is because he kept tweeting heinous shit towards Ethan and Hila, as you can see on screen, all the while Ian and Anissa were openly and publicly interacting with him.
What the hell is this?
Is that her last name?
He's taken her last name.
Testing. Hassan's Piker. Testing, 1, 2, 3, pussy. Testing. Hello everyone, Henry Handjob reporting live on the scene. As you can see behind me, we have the woods where it's believed disgraced former detective Ian Jamha is residing. We have some major breaking news that he has been identified as a suspect for content uniform malpractice, otherwise known as cum by professionals. Other members of this gang, Socialist Griftorio, is known as Hassan Piker and who can only be described as Grimace from McDonald's. Back to you, Margaret.
Yeah, she does look like Grimace.
idubbbz is very spineless. Along with his hypocritical nature, idubbbz was too much of a pussy to piss off his new friends instead of defending his close friend of nearly 9 years who was being harassed. Harley Morenstein of Epic Mealtime recently did an interview where he talks about how he defended Ian and Anissa back during Creator Clash 2. It feels like these are the types of things that you normally do for friends. Of course, the friend I'm talking about is H3H3 Productions. Ethan and Ela were constantly defending idubbbz to a fault, I would even argue. You can argue it's fair to say that maybe they didn't want to get involved, and that's fine. But what's not fine is ignoring your friends after they ask you to denounce the egregious behavior of someone who at one point represented you and is currently being signal boosted by you. The clip I'm about to show you is from the episode Snark called Child Protective Services on us.
If you want to hang out with those people and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know.
In her chat,
Yeah.
which I'll
she's
show.
friends with
Denims is
Denim.
actually participating in this whole child protect.
But remember, Denims, she's an OnlyFans too. OnlyFans girl, but just doesn't show. Doesn't show what she needs to show. Losing points there.
Service lie. Child protective service, even the worst thing. I mean, she's said worse things about you and me. I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that. The last thing I said to Anissa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mhm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Anissa, Ian's wife, never responded. And what's hilarious about this whole thing
She
is
was
when
too
Frog
busy
was
being a
crashing out on
whore.
stream about Ethan unfollowing her, Anissa was in her chat comforting her, saying, "He'll realize what he's saying isn't the best in a week or so." The cowardice behavior continued until it became pretty clear that idubbbz probably agreed with what Froggy Tonic was saying, as he talked about it on his podcast.
Ethan's upset with, I think, some of our connections.
No, Ian, it's not your connections. It's people you openly call friends. More on this later, but what a cop-out way to phrase this.
We want to stay out of the drama as much as possible. We don't want to pile on.
Oh, is that so?
I had a lot of friends when I did my apology that did not fuck with it in the slightest.
Yeah, they didn't agree.
And they still don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. Your apology was pretty useless and dumb. And although he's made some slop, I think Moist Critical had a pretty good take on the apology, which I agree with. I'll link the video in the description as well.
Don't agree with it. And I don't really expect them to come to bat for me or anything if they don't agree with it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't expect them to speak up, period, on any of it.
I appreciate that they don't.
Right here is the core of why I'm showing you this clip. He doesn't agree or doesn't care about what's happening to Ethan and Ela.
He's wearing fucking Crocs. Just like Big T. And Chato. Chato wears Crocs as well. But at least Chato doesn't go on live stream wearing his Crocs.
Maybe he just disagrees with some take that Ethan has on the conflict, like that there should be a two-state solution or that Hamas terrorists should also be condemned as well as the Israeli government. I don't know. Maybe there's some behind-the-scenes shit we don't know about. Maybe he doesn't fuck with Ethan calling people out who encourage harassment against...
I don't know what the problem with hummus is. I mean, it's all right. It tastes all right, depending on like if they have the garlic on it, then it's all right. Yeah, hummus piker. Yeah,
It's him and his family.
Like the spicier ones.
To everyone that I do content cop videos on. You want to stay out of the drama? We are friends with Denim. You did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way. No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs.
Even when we don't say something, they think we're saying.
Now, who is this guy? I've seen him in a couple of these videos, but I don't know what the... Is his tooth falling out? What the fuck is that? Motion blur?
Saying something.
Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure you...
I heard that guy had his knockers removed.
Come on out, Ian. Where you at, Jama?
Hey, Stingray. Turns out Detective Washburn is no good. We're looking for a police impersonator. This is Bernie Pegasus. Do you come?
Yeah, they're gone.
Stingray, do you come?
She knew that she knew that
No.
she knew that she was a cancer, and she figured it would spread. So might as well go ahead and just chop him off
Calm
now.
down, son. It's just a drawing.
That's good.
Is anybody?
But yeah, just to take a woman's last name, I don't want to sound sexist or misogynistic, but just it's a cunty thing to do. It's just I'm gonna do this to show something. I don't know. But I know that a woman will sometimes not take a man's last name. That's up to them. I don't really feel as strongly about that as I do a man taking a woman's name. Now, if I've seen where they combine their names before and they both take it, and that's a lot better than this. I don't know, but my wife, she took my last name, but she kept her original last name as her middle name. So it's not the dash thing. It's just her middle name has changed. Her middle name is now what her last name used to be.
See this man?
Yeah, if there's a reason, like your last name is Manson or Hitler, like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I was going to do this anyways. I'll just go ahead and this is an easier way to do it. Take that name instead.
Have you guys seen this man? Have you seen this man? Don't worry, it's just a drawing.
Now, folks, there's a new sheriff in town. Now let's get down to why we're here. My lieutenant just informed me that there's police impersonation afoot, and I gotta bring him to justice. Ian recently uploaded a content top on H3. Remember my first point?
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. You did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way.
Yeah, Ian, you're a hypocrite. Hypocrisy aside, like his other more recent content, I'd like to talk about just how bad this video is. This isn't a content cop. His Cart Narcs video, as bad as it was more of a content cop than this video. This is like an idubbbz complains. It's a shitty video about his personal feelings on H3. It's poorly edited, it makes horrible points, it's not funny, and again, it just feels soulless. But despite all of this, it's still his best performing video in 3 years.
But again,
what's up?
Best performing has nothing to do with whether it was watched, you know, and the dislike thing. He won't show the actual information, so we're going to have to just assume that it has a 80% dislike like they're saying it does.
Everybody, I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hassan broadcast coming to you live from a cloudy day here in California, Los Angeles. We're live.
And I thought it was funny that the content cop started like this. You know, it has nothing to do with Hassan, right? It's nothing to do with this person that hates you and wants you to die and all that stuff. So I'm going to make a content cop, and yeah, we're going to pretend it's an episode of his show, but they never take that shit off the bottom until the whole skit is over. It's got all his socials right there at the bottom for the entire time that they're in that room. It's quite a
just
while.
Like that, the 1 minute and 30 seconds of hope that we had for this video is lost. The video immediately derails with this person's inclusion. Kevin. Okay, this video sucks. What are you doing? This is not it. No!
Titties.
Denims? No! No! Mr. Beast!
Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan.
I mean,
The
look
dumb
at
skit
the look in his
aside,
eyes.
This feels
I mean,
like
just,
more of a taunt than anything. I'm not sure how this is going to prevent harassment against your close friend, as you say you're so morally against.
We don't condone harassment of
We
any
don't
kind.
condone harassment of any kind.
Cameron, we're all here to see you lampoon the skit. Please, Cameron. There isn't much I can say regarding the skit that hasn't already been said itself. I'm sure you want me to make fun of it further. Yeah, the Fortnite dance was retarded. Sorry, a token. This just isn't a funny sketch. And what baffles me the most about this is that in the past, Ian has made impactful and funny sketches that improved the overall video, but this just falls flat.
Which tells me that maybe he didn't have anything to do with it back then. You know, maybe he was at that point to where someone was helping him. Someone was giving him ideas. Maybe it was Ethan.
If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like,
'Cause he's fucking
oh yeah,
shit
if I ever
now.
do that, it's got to be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not me losing the plot, it's Ethan.
No, dumbass, it's you. And that fact has become very apparent over the past couple of years. Quite honestly, I should have known that the second you decided any of those tattoos that make you look like a reformed skinhead looked good to you.
Jesus, look
Maybe
at
it
that
was the
stupid
LASIK
shit.
surgery that went a little too deep into your eyes and melted your brain. Maybe Sam Hyde kicked you too hard. Cameron, please stop being a cyberbelly.
I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
Yeah, Hassan has the political know-how, the same guy who before this conflict couldn't even locate Yemen.
I love it when he says that all of Hassan's followers and friends, they're very politically savvy.
On a map.
Doesn't know where Yemen is? Okay, I'm gonna click close. I'm closing it. I'm closing it. I think nope.
Hassan was
nope.
very well equipped.
Nope. Got it. We stopped Vladimir Putin from invading Ukraine. Or maybe that was never gonna fucking happen, like I said!
What kind of humiliation ritual is this video? You fucking moron.
Says that depends on how long it is.
It literally
this is like an hour and a half.
The toppings. And the pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
It's very clear to anyone with a functioning brain how this kind of editing could easily be used maliciously. And this type of malicious editing plagues this video. There's plenty of times in this video where context is intentionally left out. Ethan actually already responded to this edit directly, showing that he was making commentary on the conflict at the time, as you can see.
He is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them. His wife's Israeli. She served in the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel.
No, he's not. He's on numerous occasions called out the Israeli government and the IDF.
The Israel government is
Yeah, during his debate with Hassan, he agreed that Israel is basically committing a genocide. I mean, it's understandable that idubbbz doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, but who he gets his information from is, I can only assume it's his wife. And she's dumb as fuck.
Fucking barbaric, genocidal freaks. And I hate them.
I can't even begin to talk about how fucking bad faith it is, not to mention that Hila's military service was mandatory. It's not like she was psyched to serve in the IDF.
They follow Hassan. Hassan is strictly a political streamer.
No, he isn't. Half of his streams are just him eating and watching Skibbity Toilet. Throughout most of this video, Ian's points fall very flat. There are many occasions where he shows clips of Ethan that have nothing to do with the point he's trying to make and make Ian look really stupid. For example,
So when they see Ethan say things that are just like not accurate and it's just propaganda, they're gonna call it out.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
in what way is that propaganda? The river to the sea, that's the whole thing. It's extremely reasonable to understand why people rightfully believe that.
The other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
In his past Content Cop videos, there was kind of this unspoken rule that Ian was kind of against criticizing people for things that they've taken accountability for. So the malicious use of this clip is pretty sour. Hila misspoke, apologized, then took a break from the podcast after clarifying. What's the problem?
He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb. Frogan and Denims. And Denims, by the way, was the real villain of the video. Evil, hateful fucking... And I'll say it and I'll double down on it. And people, oh no.
Bitch. Don't worry, Ethan, I got you. Ian pulled all of these clips out of context to make Ethan look like he was just attacking people without reason. Matt Lieb unprovokedly attacked Ethan Klein on his podcast, then platformed Bad Empanada. Frogan, as I said earlier, crashed out over Ethan silently unfollowing her on Twitter. And this last clip was a stream called My War on Snark, which was the second stream after the CPS incident. Ethan was calling out Denims for platforming Bad Empanada by showing and promoting his video where he falsely claims that Ethan and Gila's house was covered in dog shit and that the children were walking around eating the dog shit, which led to a false CPS report that Ethan's family had to deal with. Wow, with that context, it seems perfectly reasonable why Ethan would be upset at these people. Before we continue, I want to make it perfectly clear that I do not
And I haven't heard anyone make the point yet that I made when idubbbz goes on and on about how, you know, his chat is not a small number. It's 26,000 people. And it's just stupid to think that you have 26,000 viewers, that all 26,000 are chatting, they're all reading chat. It's fucking stupid. Fucking stupid to even think that.
believe that following someone on social media equals the endorsement of that person.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story about the dog shit. But I guess at some point they went back and said that they didn't have it, or they found no one ever tested positive. And so then that's the problem with not having the entire context. You don't know exactly what happened, why it was said, whether they had it or not. Yeah, it's not a good idea to say it. And like I said, I'm definitely not sticking up for Ethan Klein. I mean, can't even get his fucking name right.
I myself follow several people that I disagree with and or dislike. However, Ian seems to be trying to weaponize this argument into something that it is not. In this part of the video, Ian is talking about his former editor, Froggy Tonic.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she's like a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and idubbbz feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening? For all you know, I only use it for you.
I think
For all you know,
I don't think he's ever shown them. I think Denims even said that she gives him credit that he's never shown them, which is a good thing.
I only use lists. For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty.
For all we
Again, I haven't watched the entire Bad Empanada thing either, but from what I heard in all these clips, it seemed like he was making assumptions that that's why the housekeeper quit, or somebody was supposedly suing him. And so he's just taking a lot of, I guess, information that is out there and jumping to his own conclusions. And
no, what do you mean we do know? Anissa was literally engaging with him throughout all of this, but besides that, you literally confirm it yourself.
I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that. You don't know what's on my feed. I'm not going to retweet it or like it. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago, what the fuck is happening? Truly mean shit.
This contradiction makes this entire point fall flat very quickly, and it's honestly pathetic how little effort went into making this video.
He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to...
Yeah, he said that the kid's eating shit, but what Klein said was, he's got kids running around, crawling around the house, and they put all kinds of stuff in their mouth. Doesn't mean they eat shit. If I guess kids do put every fucking thing in their mouth. And so whether or not it's an actual turd or just crawling around and getting that stuff on their hands, and yeah. 2 years before Ethan's dog's death, some voiced concerns for his chronic vomiting. Got shunned by other fans. Cheese as there's nothing wrong with giving your dog cheese as treats. I mean, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to give it cheese like every fucking day. But I've looked it up, and there's dog trainers that say cheese is a very good treat for helping training and stuff like that. You know, like I've given Charlie cheese. I'm not going to give her a fucking big old chunk of cheddar. I mean, she weighs 3 pounds, so she's going to get like a little ball of cheese every once in a while.
Kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure.
A bunch of other shit? You barely scratched the surface. Oh, boo-hoo, he called someone the C word. What did he actually say, Ian?
Who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place?
I don't know.
If you do a little
Who
bit
is
of
it?
research, it seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users on the
And?
Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this.
Yeah, it's probably one of Hassan's fans. Just because it's in their Reddit.
This account before.
Baba Booey.
What the hell happened to you, Ian? You went from well-researched videos to crediting snark subreddits to make your point. The cherry on top is the person who made this post apparently isn't even the same dude the snark is talking about. And this was found out less than an hour after this video's release.
Fucking the Gaza Strip.
That's because his
Whatever it
fucking
might
wife
be,
did the
I'll
research.
talk about it, no matter how ignorant of the facts I am. That's one very important thing to keep in mind, guys. I'm not a researcher. I'm a dipshit.
Also, I think Ian has just ruined the word crash out for me. He calls Ethan's behavior crashing out on the stream where he talks about CPS getting called on his kids.
Just like I'm not going to throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
This is a point Ethan responded to in his latest video where he also reveals that 2 human skulls.
Yeah, things happen very quickly once the rotten enchilada guy started talking about it, and then Denims covered that. Then shit happened real quick after it was on Denims.
Skulls were sent to his house.
Yeah, they give no shits.
If that's a crash out, it's a reasonable crash out.
I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional.
Oh
I don't
my God.
entirely disagree with this point. Yeah, it's not cool to have an ultimatum, transactional type of relationship. However, wouldn't that make you a hypocrite, Ian? You give him a lot of ultimatums in this video.
It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. Maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can like rekindle our
Jeez, who the fuck would want to do that?
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just
My
said,
empathy
like, I
meter's
know
only
you and
maybe
Ayla
like
are
a
experiencing
quarter of the
ton
way filled
crap,
up.
and I essentially empathize with that.
Ah, yes. Ian, the moral arbiter of empathy. I'm glad you feel.
You guys know that there is a clip of idubbbz pretending to hang himself. And so, you know, I'm good at taking those things and making animations out of them.
Build up your empathy meter a little bit more before making this fucking hit piece.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan.
They never made a statement. They never said that they disagree with his statements.
Well, yeah,
about
he doesn't
Trisha's
want to do
baby.
that because
So
it is in direct like opposition to what Hassan would want. You know, just fuck all the other ones, the Denims and the Frogan and whatever the other fucker's name is. They're all there because of Hassan. And for some reason, he really wants to fuck Hassan. I don't know if he thinks if he gets him before his wife does, that maybe he'll have like some sort of clout. I don't know. Little baby Satan incoming.
What's useful and what it sounds like to me is that you did see it at the time and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it and you didn't fuck with it. Huh. It's almost like that is a fucking identical situation to me.
Yo, is this person fucking retarded?
Yes.
This situation isn't near identical in any way. H3 and Trisha weren't close or even friends at the time of this happening. They had no reason to publicly stand on anything, nor were they asked to. When they asked you to denounce the crazy shit your former editor was saying, you guys ignored them.
Because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys and they're saying like, yeah.
And go one step farther, you know, Ethan Klein stuck up for idubbbz and his whore wife when she was doing whore things. They weren't friends with her. He was friends with him. And it carried over, which it's probably not something I would have done, you know. But god damn. He is like he's never recovering from this shit.
Yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet.
And I think he does a lot of numbers like that, as does H3. I mean, they're both a fucking lot of viewers. Where this fucking dildo gets supposedly like 1,000 views on his podcast, like after the fact. I mean, more than me, but, you know, I don't have 7-8 million fucking viewers.
Internet. Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves.
Keeping to themselves.
What a fucking liar, dude.
But you guys weren't staying silent, dude.
Was that him or is that me? Hold on.
Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves.
Okay, it's him.
What a fucking liar, dude.
But you guys weren't staying silent, dude. You made a tweet joking about the situation. Anissa was out there in Frogan's chat after the whole Twitter incident, and then you went out to make a statement about it on your podcast. If you were trying to stay silent, you did a pretty fucking awful job.
Some people...
And I think idubbbz is going to be the one who makes it happen with them all turning on idubbbz. Because they're the ones who are pushing her along, filling her head full of bullshit that she will be successful suing H3. That's going to be so fucking bad.
Call it like a lol cow.
I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish.
That's awfully convenient. What,
Yeah.
Anissa's half Lebanese? Well, it turns out she might not be, according to Yoko
According to her.
Ono herself. I'm actually
Yeah.
like 50% Irish. I peed on myself in the shower. No, I've been peed on. 45% Italian, 8% Arab. Now, maybe let's give her the benefit of the doubt, despite the fact she constantly talks about her heritage. Let's say idubbbz is just being hyperbolic.
Well, I mean, she might have, it's probably only 8% Arab when Hassan was inside of her. To be fair.
It's still quite a stretch to add 42% of your heritage to something and call it half. Keemstar is more black than Anissa is Lebanese. Shout out to Nicholas Diorio.
For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide.
Oh my
on the
God.
part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar.
While this is true, this feels like a weird and unnecessary oppression tug of war.
Jesus.
And do I have to state the obvious here that Ethan and Neela
Wife's
are
a
both
whore?
Jews? I know this is a deep cut, Ian. You may have never heard of this, but like, I think around 6 million Jews were genocided in this little obscure thing known as the Holocaust. Huh. I wonder what Anissa's take is on that.
Yeah,
That's
I know what it
a really hard
is.
question, and I
Lots
think
of
if
good
people
stuff
are being
come out of that,
100%
right?
honest, they'd give you a different answer than what you're expecting. As terrible as the Holocaust was, obviously it was horrendous, and how disgusting the doctor was that did the experiments on people.
Doesn't even know the name.
Gay people, handicaps, twins. I think that's, and obviously
Who doesn't
they're
know
obviously
Mengele?
Jewish. Or they did it on Jewish people. They found a couple of really groundbreaking discoveries through that experimentation.
You caught us. We're not going to run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people. We be following.
God,
That's
what a-
one fucked up thing that you can
what a
say about
cunt.
Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
Ooh. Yeah, Ian? Oh. How long did it take you to come up with that one, buddy? It's very malicious the way that this is phrased, as if Ethan and Neela actually care about who Ian is following on Twitter. It's the people you guys claim to be friends with openly.
Spineless. I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter.
God, he's stupid.
Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are friends with Denims.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know,
In her chat,
yeah,
which I'll
she's
show.
friends with
Denims
Denims.
is actually participating in this whole child protective service lie.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship
do
that we
whipped
had
cream
with
covering.
Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people.
H3 is clearly upset that Ian is admittedly friends with Denims. Denims openly promoted the idea that Ethan and Hila are bad parents and their kids are walking around in shit and eating shit and catching diseases. She then justified everything after CPS was called on H3 and is a terror-supporting rape denier who's yet to apologize for anything. Other than the CPS thing, which was barely an apology and it was made after the content cop. So yes, Ian, I question anyone who chooses to be friends with Denims or would openly call her a good person. You also gotta love this revisionist history, the same level of friendship.
I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend.
Oops.
You guys were friends for nearly 9 years. You've called Ethan and Hila inspirations. You've met his family, and now he's just a light friend? By the end of this video, what are you gonna call him? An acquaintance? Another internet creator?
Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators.
Yes.
I don't know, I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention.
God, look,
right
he's
now,
so
one's
fucking
a little bit more fucking nasty to me.
The fucking smug look on his face. He is the new fucking Cyrax. I made a video about that. It was after he made that stupid "Everybody Hates idubbbz" video.
Me than the other.
Oh, I get it now. So it's about you.
He's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody, and blah blah blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mhm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well, then, you should have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
You guys literally called Froggy Tonic a nobody. Yeah, I'd assume you'd have no problem denouncing him either if that's actually how you feel.
Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure.
Ah, holy shit, dude. That's all you had to fucking say, dude. Instead, you're wasting time, money, and a close friendship on a hit piece so you don't piss off your new friends. You look extremely pathetic, Ian.
Unless my tinfoil hat is, but back of my mind, I for some reason I think they're all in it together. All of them. All for money. Views, clicks. Hassan, Ethan, idubbbz, and his husband.
Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier to broach.
Oh, excuse me. I was just talking to the Silence Through Witchcraft. I didn't hear anything about you wanting to pause the relationship, though. What I heard was that you let Hassan fuck your girlfriend while you watched. Not sure. Maybe I'm getting a bad read. Hold on.
I would have been perfectly
she
fine.
will.
You might want to watch your hand movements there, buddy. You keep doing it, dude. You need to stop. You're getting really close with that hand movement. Don't flip your arm over, man.
And I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
She actually.
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression.
No, Ian. Go fuck yourself is right. They're right. You do agree.
Aggression is better than this microaggression shit. At least you know what's coming. You know how someone stands. The shit that you're doing is just fucking shitty.
You made that very clear. That's why they're
Very
saying
cunty.
that. That's their decision. Also, what do you mean aggression? Look at you.
No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping.
In terms of these fair weather friends who are, so happy to Be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say.
Throughout this video, Ian strictly avoids the core reason as to why Ethan is acting the way he is in these clips. This one piece of context would likely nullify a majority of this video. The episode Ian is pulling clips from is titled "Snark Called Child Protective Services on Us." No shit, he's pissed.
This is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are.
Oh, I'm glad Ian's the king of podcasts. He knows what's horrible.
Oh my God.
He knows what an emotional dumping ground is. And he clearly knows not to do that in podcasts, right? Would you guys like to hear the sweetest bit of...
Is he going to say the one where Anissa says that he's abusive and starts screaming and punching inanimate objects?
Hypocrisy?
Explaining to the people why we started this podcast.
'Cause
For
you're-
me, that's
'cause
one of the
you're-
reasons is it's like, oh, I just need to sometimes dump a little bit.
'Cause you're a
just being
cunt.
like, all right, I'll dump. I think is like that's like a satisfying thing for me.
So your podcast is an emotional dumping ground, but when Ethan does it and you don't like what he's dumping about, it's bad.
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever.
You know what? This could have been a valid point, but I gotta say, it was an interesting choice to shave your head before this video. Also, the pose with the sword stick.
This it's not even about that though. It's the fact that it's his kids. His kids were involved, and they don't understand that because they are barren. You know, there's no way that Anissa is gonna let this fucking retard impregnate her because she wants someone who's browner. She wants Hassan.
The swastika sword? I don't know, man. That was an interesting choice there, Ian. Sometimes I wonder if you still got it in you. Say nigga. Cameroon, you ignorant sloat. That sword is obviously from Bletch.
I don't even know who that guy is.
That's Isaac.
Yeah, we all know that.
Oh, I don't watch Bleach.
This one's sicker. Wait, that's a little sus. Immediately goes for the swastika one. Got it.
Maybe you haven't changed so much after all.
Me making this video is the standing up for something, and it's saying, fuck you. You guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being bad. You're
being
behaving
bad?
poorly.
Oh,
Are you a fucking
I
dog?
get it. I'm glad you stood up for the massive political streamer and his lackeys instead of your friend who was being harassed and threatened. What the fuck even is this shit, dude? You're being bad. Bad boy. You're being a bad boy.
He's just being a
Who
cunt.
the fuck are you?
I'm not your fucking dad.
You sure try to act like one.
I was morally grandstanding.
True.
Look how tarded look how tarded he looks here.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm not your fucking dad.
God damn. Yeah, it was this video. It was over for pretty much everyone. Not your dad.
You sure try to act like one.
I was morally grandstanding.
True.
I could
Bring
be
it
your
back to
dad.
song just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like I was thinking about going to Gaza
Yeah.
until I found out it's
Until
dangerous. He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
It's been performed exquisitely. Harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one.
What? He criticizes. Ian, can I get your definition of harassment? Is criticism now harassment? You sound like. Oh. Never mind.
It's anything that's said about him or his whore wife. That's it. It's all harassment. And they fucking go nuts about it. They actually have said that they go like looking for videos of people talking shit on them. So they might have seen some of my shit. Probably why I'm shadow banned most of the time.
My head hurts.
She's friends with Denims. Denims is streaming this story about our
I'll
kid
show that, yeah.
getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry. I'll accept this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork
for this type of streaming.
I don't even know the point Ian is trying to make here. Are you trying to say that Ethan pioneered live drama content? Maybe? Are you trying to say that Ethan pioneered live politics coverage? I don't think so. Are you criticizing Ethan for doing reaction streams? I hope not. Regardless, I'm not getting the denims comparison because name me one time where Ethan promoted the harassment.
Oh, she was touching her boobs there.
And misinformation against someone's.
Yeah, 2 days before the call to CPS. And like you guys said, it was like a month. Before that is when Ethan said some shit.
Family. But enough yapping. Let's find out what he's talking about.
Which is watching people shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it.
Ian, you do realize that reaction streams and videos long predated the H3 podcast? I think you should know this more than most. Ian should also know well that not all reaction...
Yeah, basically him... What was his first content cop? Was on Jinx. And that's all he did was sit there and watch stupid people's videos and make funny faces and whatever. But yet he was doing that to someone reacting. He's reacting to someone reacting. And most of his content cops, it's basically the same thing. It's talking shit about what they've said online. Even the Kickstarter crap, you could kind of say is sort of reaction content.
Content is created equally. Sitting there while eating and not adding commentary, or while your brain is malfunctioning in the case of denims, or having your chair...
You watch your fucking mouth, boy.
Adding commentary, or while your brain is malfunctioning in the case of denims, or having your chair watch the video for you is not a reaction. It's content theft. And you should know that adding commentary to a video that you're...
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. I am perfectly fine.
Watching and transforming it into your own thing is something very different. A reaction streamer can criticize another reaction streamer who's stealing content, just like a commentary YouTuber can criticize another commentary YouTuber for making bad content.
Well, not according to Big T. You know, Big T says William is stealing his content.
You could say so much, and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
They're actually good people. Like that's going to get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog.
Well, too bad this is not about you, dummy.
And Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the fucking the prompt is. No one would care.
Don't be naive. You know you would have gotten shit, Ian. Also, what a great way to dodge talking about the CPS situation.
If you can. I just want to ask you if you've always been shitting your pants.
Yeah, I would marry her. Just think I might stick it in there.
No. Because since I've known you, you've always had like IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well. I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out.
Well, by your logic, you just made an hour-long video defending Hassan and co. Doesn't that make you Hassan's lapdog?
Mm-hmm.
Me making this video is the standing up for something. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles?
That was so far after that. After you already did your fucking podcast and he didn't want to talk to you. Because it got to the point where it's like, oh, this guy's a fucking cunt. I don't want to hear what he has to say now.
No fucking shot, dude. No, I don't think Ethan wanted to talk to you about your principles. I think he's got bigger fish to fry right now. Fucking Muppet. Ian then goes on this retarded tangent about friends to the whole follower equals endorsement narrative, so I'll spare repeating myself.
Oh, come on. Green monster. Green. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Now let's talk about the button. Ethan got this button, or kill switch, as a response to the controversy with Cutie Cinderella. He was not able to control himself in that moment, and instead of figuring out how he can change his behavior, he spent $20,000.
Now, for whatever reason, Anissa's husband brings up the button. He goes on.
So what? What? I got a button too. You know, whenever I want to say. Exactly.
On this concerned trolling rant about how Ethan refuses to change the behavior and instead uses the button after he did a goof plus a spoof plus a gaff plus a riot while watching a video of QT Cinderella crying.
I also see the dynamic.
I'm sorry, don't mind me.
It's just really
Look at women who are not also benefiting off of being seen.
Now, if you did a tiny bit of research, it's in the same video. You would have known that the button had already been ordered.
Not
at the time
20
of this
grand.
incident. So this wasn't some turning point. Ian quickly nullifies this point of the segment by saying,
I think if all of us had buttons, we'd hit the button all the time. But if you don't have it, you operate differently. You think about what you're saying. You maybe plan for your show a little bit more.
yeah, every network television station
What a
has a button. I stream a lot.
fucking
I wish
idiot.
I had a button. I think everyone could use a kill switch. Ian is making a non-argument.
It's not a kill switch. It's a fucking mute button.
He barely streams, and he is making this point during an edited video. You know what? I think I know a guy who could probably use that button.
You fucking bloodthirsty, violent pig dog. You would kill Rick Scott. America deserved 9/11, dude.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry.
Let's talk about the crew. I think the crew has been put in the worst working environment that you possibly can be for a fucking podcast. Every crew member has it bad.
I think this part of the video, and frankly, any part.
Why are you talking about his fucking employees? This is just this fucking stupid.
The video that mentioned.
I think his button, I don't know. I've never seen him use the button, so I don't know what it does. Yeah.
The podcast.
I mean, because you can do a 20-second delay, or I can make any kind of delay, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And it doesn't really work for me because I can't have 3 minutes of lag. But hell, even like 10 seconds could be enough. Maybe not for me. I probably wouldn't be able to fumble my way and shut something down within 10 seconds. But someone who has a show, who that's their job, is watching and making sure he doesn't say something or say something really bad.
Is malicious. Ian, I know you don't have the best business track record, and that happens, but I don't think you have the place to be talking about Ethan's successful podcast when my small YouTube channel consistently outperforms your podcast.
I would be fine with you
Just dying a little bit inside. That's
not
all right.
brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not to do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
It's very clear to me that Ian is insecure about the success of his podcast, and it's not unsuccessful because he talks about niche subjects or whatever. It's because it's boring and oftentimes laughably bad.
I think for me, when I really started to be like, I really don't want to be a part of this, was I hate bringing it up, but Etika. The Etika stuff was so hard for me. Like, that was somebody who clearly was experiencing a mental health issue. And this is my attitude, like, full stop on this period. The last thing somebody who's going through
Chat is in a perfect position. I don't have to see her fucking ass.
something like that needs is more eyes on it. We were in it. And at the time, when we were in it and we wanted...
Fuck her into the
Referring
bush
to
here.
us kind of going through a fucking hard time on the internet, being harassed, videos made about us, people weighing in.
People still make videos about us.
And on the stupid crew point, there's been very few people to actually leave H3's crew. Only one is left on bad terms. Hell, Dan's been there for like 7 years, if not more. If the environment was so bad, why didn't you call it out when you were on the show a year and a half ago? You've had plenty of time. And while we're speaking on the crew, I want to take a moment to talk about AB and Lena, two beloved members of the H3 podcast. I actually met AB at the second creator clash. He was nice as hell. I even made it into the podcast members only recap video. That aside, let's be clear here. Ian, what you did to Lena by stirring this shit up 2 months before the event is eerily similar to what you did last time to sabotage your own event. It's disgusting that you put 2 other people that you're friendly with, 2 Arabs by the way, since that apparently matters, instead of treating everyone like human beings, in this position when you knew full well that Lena was fighting in your event in 2 months. If you had any spine at all.
Well, not only that, not only did he do that when she was an employee, he put her fucking name in it. He put her fucking name in it. Somewhere.
All, you would at least wait until after your event or send a warning to Lena and AB. You've now set 2 innocent people up for harassment, and harassment they've been getting, not just because of you, but because they're the only 2 Lebanese people on the show. Looks like you need to fill up that empathy bar a little bit more.
Also, let's talk about AB and Lena, 2 Lebanese employees, and you just continue to talk about the conflict like they don't exist. It would be nicer, a lot nicer, for you to shut the fuck up about it.
Also, you act like Ethan is some sort of anti-Palestinian voice.
God, this is
like he's got some
the worst video ever.
Absolute Zionist level takes, when that is absolute.
I missed most of this because I wouldn't watch the entire content cop. It just sucks so fucking bad that I couldn't do it.
Not the case. Believe it or not, you can be pro-Palestinian and anti-terrorist at the same time, and I believe most pro-Palestinian people are. The cherry on top of this is that Ian accidentally released the video while AB and Lena were live on the H3 podcast. While the show was live, Lena had to run off to the bathroom as she was having a panic attack over the video. Then Ian had the bright idea to send her a DM like, "Oh, my bad," as if that fixes anything he set them up for. Ian, if you actually do have an empathy meter over 1%, you'll spare her and buy her out from Creator Clash because you know full well that your audience is gonna boo her the second she steps foot on the event, something that she's afraid of. Also, big shoutouts to whoever the hell runs the Creator Clash
she
Twitter
quit,
website.
didn't she?
Yeah, great timing there.
The one time the button didn't work and we listened to how he spoke to AB without thinking that the internet was going to hear it, it was rude, it was nasty, and it didn't have this caveat of like, I'm not mad at you. It was anger, and it was uncalled for.
Use they get access to cover most of it.
We're doing it.
What are you doing?
It's so awkward and terrible.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Just like this is what I'm talking about when it's always like.
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like.
I mean, I don't. You must have not met someone like me. That's fucking stupid. God damn. The fuck is wrong with you, you goddamn idiot? Now that's the kind of stuff I'd say.
Bro.
Oh no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I was just talking about finishing Wednesday.
Ian, for some reason, I'm beginning to think that you being an electrician's apprentice was some sort of joke.
That's fucking really polite for someone who's rude and yeah, they should sue him for unsafe working conditions. He's just toxic.
Jokes aside, I know that you actually have had jobs in the past, but you sure do act like you've never came across a difficult situation ever. This was a tame incident that there were no bad feelings over.
He makes it seem like he's not a tyrant of a boss.
We're doing it.
That's a tyrant.
I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it.
And I want to see proof this fucking pud's ever had a job.
And I really enjoy it.
Oh, what in God's name did Alex Wasabi do to your pituitary gland, Ian? Because you've clearly never had a tyrannical boss if you think Ethan sounds like one in that clip.
Oh my,
sure,
he hasn't.
It's a bad and awkward
because he's never
moment
had a
that he
fucking
apologized
job.
For. Big whoop, it's over.
Dan, his producer, is constantly clarifying things on the air and making it clear that what Ethan said was a joke.
Oh my God.
God forbid.
Jesus Christ.
Why? Because it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, what are you, a fucking shareholder in his podcast? I thought this was about why you did not stand up for your friend when they accused them of living in shit, which prompted a CPS call, which is not something you would just say, oh, he's crashing out, or about the CPS thing.
Oh, man.
Just like your inability to...
No. Hold on, Dan. How does it change anything? People knowing that we did it.
It's fun when...
Has he ever watched like the behind the scenes stuff of Howard Stern? Some of the things he said to his producers? Oh my fucking God.
It's a surprise.
Okay, well,
Well, you just asked how it changed
Surprise
things.
them on your show.
Again, shitty choice of a clip and a bad out of context example. This is Ethan and Gila's show, and I know this might be a massive revelation out of this world, but fun fact, the H in H3 stands for Gila, and the 3 is meant to represent a backwards E that stands for Ethan. It's their podcast. Ethan has every right to direct his producers to do what he wants for his show. Maybe you should take some notes so you can have a more entertaining podcast yourself.
Ethan doesn't want to change, and he wants to bring the entire crew down with him.
Ian, you understand that the workforce isn't slavery, right? You do understand that a worker has the right to quit their job, and that these crew members working on a high-profile show could quit any day with a fantastic resume and the opportunity to start a career of their own on social media, right? They all make it clear that they disagree with this hole that you and those snark subreddits are trying to place them in. You have snark Redditor logic, and it's clear how you researched this video.
What makes demon mode different than goblin mode is goblins aren't really like an intimidating, powerful force. If the goblin is persistent, it can get what it wants.
When I'm done with the other one, the big one that's dropping probably next week, my full attention is going to you, George. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach.
According to idubbbz, demon mode refers to Ethan suing people, and this first example is Bad Empanada, aka George, who's already on the run for civil cases as it is. Bad Empanada absolutely deserves a lawsuit. He is knowingly...
Well, I've seen video where Ethan Klein explained that it was, maybe it was supposed to look like he, but it was also the whole Gila and Ethan was some part of it as well. I have to find that video, but I definitely saw a video where he actually said it.
And maliciously slandered Ethan and Gila, has absolutely been harassing Ethan and Gila, has wasted government resources in order to harass Ethan and Gila, and it's certainly easy to prove damages.
3 complaints for 3 people.
You are doing the classic rich asshole thing. You have a deficit of friends, you have a surplus of enemies. You feel really bad, you feel hurt, but you also have a surplus of money. So what can you do? You can use that money to bully and intimidate people.
No, Ian, person who's wealthy enough to run 2 charity boxing events despite the last one costing you $250,000 in debt that you had no problem paying off and starting a new one this year. Ethan is not a rich asshole for suing people that he feels with good evidence are slandering him. Moral grandstanding at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. This video was not just critical. Sure, there were some critiques against the Israeli government and one creator who really did deserve the criticism. However, there was so much slander against other creators to create some conclusion that they were all genocide supporters. For those unaware, Noah Samson, the person that Ethan Klein and Mudahar are preparing to sue, is pretty infamous for being bad faith, as Jolly Saint Nicholas Diorio calls him, the Brit Bong of the left. Noah recently made a pretty bad faith video attacking several creators, notably Turkey Tom, Mudahar, and Ethan Klein. The video was titled "The YouTubers Who Backed a Genocide," and it's about, you guessed it, the conflict between Israel and Palestine. In this video, Noah denies several rapes that were committed by terrorists, defended the Houthi terrorists, including the one terrorist that Hassan interviewed on stream that Hassan himself called a terrorist.
Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother.
He also defended Twitch's shitty actions on anti-Semitism, and most importantly, concluded that Ethan Klein is pro-genocide for making a video on Hassan Piker where he criticizes the terrorists that Hassan was promoting. This is all despite Ethan Klein saying that the West Bank is fair game and supporting the Palestinian movement in his content nuke on Hassan Piker. He tries to paint the picture that because of Ethan's video on Hassan, that Ethan is lying about his support and empathy towards the Palestinian cause. He then goes after creators like Turkey Tom and Mudahar just for criticizing Twitch, and the golden boy, Hassan Piker.
Hey, have you seen Hassan Piker at all?
Piker? I hardly even knew her. Noah's ultimate conclusion is that all of these creators back genocide because they criticize Hassan. which takes a lot of fucking hoops to draw that conclusion. And after watching this dog shit video, I completely understand why Ethan Klein and Mudahar want to sue. I won't get into my opinions on if they should or shouldn't sue, but let's just say I won't exactly feel sad if this scares the shit out of Noah Samson for years, fearing generational debt. Now, before I go any further, it should go without saying that I'm totally against retarded and frivolous lawsuits. However, Ian seems to think that all lawsuits are just used to intimidate people. But in the cases where that is true, sometimes it's justified. You shouldn't feel confident to slander people. You should feel intimidated at what might happen if you choose to spread malicious libel against people. Some lawsuits are justified. Hey Ian, a great example of a frivolous lawsuit is the Matt Haas versus H3H3 case. Another one is the one.
Don't forget about Denims. Of course, he's standing up for that because that's justified, right?
That you threatened Froggy Fresh over $18,000 for after you kicked him out of your event, but didn't pursue because of all the backlash you got. Remember that one?
No, you have a ton of power, you have a ton of options, you have a ton of choice. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich.
Someone's mad at the internet. Also, you gotta love this frame, right? He's screaming at Ethan for being filthy rich while he's got a gold tooth for fashion.
Jesus, what the fuck is that?
And thousands
Why?
of dollars worth of shitty tattoos. Should try to get a refund on that. Sitting in your basement filled with expensive boxing equipment and an arcade machine, talking to us on your expensive camera and lav mic. You have nothing to grandstand on, you fucking cowardly, pathetic little
He kept saying that it was racist or anti-Semitic to suggest that he talked to someone who's within the same ethnic group as him.
That's why I said yesterday, like, I urge Ethan to talk to Sam Cedar.
Is it not? I mean, maybe not so much racist, but you're definitely patronizing him. That's like telling a black liberal to go talk to the Hodge twins to see why they're wrong. Ian seems to have lost the idea that people are people. Like, people of different ethnic groups and cultures can have conversations, dude. And if there's anyone in this situation who cannot take criticism, it's absolutely Hassan Piker. If you dare ever criticize him, you're in for a world of bullshit. He won't watch it, and if your name ever comes up, he'll just, isn't this the guy you, and disregard you completely.
How can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what to fucking tell you. This is like step one of having a leftist ideology is recognizing our race, religion, nationality.
When did he ask you?
All shape our experiences as people.
This is another rare part of the video where you start to think that Ian might kind of have a point, and then you sit there and you realize that Hassan is categorizing all Jews as to having one opinion, and instead of not doing that, he deflects Ethan off to go talk to the approved Jew, Sam Cedar. So instead of Ian criticizing Hassan for categorizing all Jews as to having one opinion, he decides to criticize Ethan for not talking to the approved Jew. This is so fucking backwards.
It could possibly be someone who shares progressive ideology with you. It could possibly be someone who is of your same gender.
Okay.
Gender?
So, all right, the new and improved idubbbz is now asking you to patronize other ethnic groups, identities,
Men.
or skin colors,
Gender.
and only talk to your own. I'm so happy that you've reformed, Ian. This is...
Did he not catch that? His own gender?
Great moves, man. Keep it up. Proud of you. I'm so happy that identities or idubbbz is now...
Is of your same gender?
Okay, so, all right, the new and improved idubbbz is now asking you to patronize other ethnic groups, identities, or skin colors, and only talk to your own. I'm so happy that you've reformed, Ian. This is great moves, man. Keep it up. Proud of you.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right? When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic. In this case, American imperialism.
God, you're such a fucking joke.
No, what the fuck is happening? He just defended the 9/11 cop.
Yeah.
He just defended the 9/11. He just offended.
He would be defending Hassan if Hassan said everybody should go and, 9/11 idubbbz's mother, bury her, dig her up, and fuck her. He would defend that because he's so passionate.
The 9/11 comment. Also,
God, he
by the
wants
way,
to
this
fuck
wasn't
him.
some nuanced take by Hassan as he tried to retcon on his uncle's show. This was a crash out. The correct use case of the term, by the way.
And after that, he said in Minecraft, you know, made it into a fucking joke.
Because right after the 9/11 comment, he started making graphic remarks about the missing eye of Representative Dan Crenshaw.
Oh, yeah, that was
who was
fucked
wounded
up.
and lost his eye while serving our country in the line of duty.
Didn't he go to war and like literally lose his eye because some mujahideen, a brave fucking soldier, fucked his eye hole with their dick? Isn't that how he lost his fucking dumbass eye? Because he got his fucking eye hole fucked?
I think Israel says it's a place where Jews can go.
Israel's just a place Jews can go? With that slogan, we might actually have peace.
Ian, you're getting really fucking lazy. Where's the counter argument? Also, I love this we.
He shouldn't even be fucking talking about this. He should have shut his fucking mouth. He has no business talking about politics. And yeah, I think Hassan is a fucking cult leader. And how can he say the things that he says and not get banned off of Twitch?
Shit.
With that slogan, we might actually have peace.
When that one fucking goofy bald guy got banned for like a week or two for calling Frogan a fat bitch.
You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go.
Ian, I didn't know you were Palestinian. Who the fuck is we? Like, since when were you the spokesperson of Palestine?
There was a tier list.
He seems more like a Wisconsin fuck or
It was
something.
presented at TwitchCon as like a panel that was just meant to be lighthearted and fun. And Ethan Klein saw that.
Yeah, Frogan gets some Twitch award, like Breakout Streamer of the Year. 2 years in a row. I mean, that's like the Rookie of the Year, right? How can you be a rookie 2 years in a row?
And he decided that it was anti-Semitic.
No, Ian, he didn't decide that it was anti-Semitic. It was anti-Semitic. They got banned because it was anti-Semitic. The whole premise of who can say Habibi was almost immediately dropped after it started.
We brought you guys here today because we want to rank streamers on how Arab they are.
The people in that category on the thumbnail? Jews. And besides it being a hummus, Sabra's dictionary definition is...
Not only that, but at the very bottom of that thumbnail was Ethan Klein and some other Jew who was not in the tier list. They just went and found another Jew. I mean, it was a very, I guess, I can't remember his name, but a very famous Jewish streamer or personality.
It's a Jewish person.
Ben Shapiro,
born in
there you
Israel.
go, thank you.
Hassan goes in Arab because that's the good tier. But Ethan Klein goes in the Jew category.
And of course, look at what, yeah, and they find just to be fucking stupid, the fat ass bald picture for whatever skit he was doing. That looks like Sacha Baron Cohen. Borat.
That's the bad tier. Let me explain this in different terms to make it a bit more obvious for your thick skull, Ian. Let's say I were to make a who's invited to the cookout tier list. And at the top you got loves hip hop, and at the bottom you got white. That's of course the best way I could put it without getting in trouble. I think it would be a pretty clear stereotype, and maybe you're just not as culturally sound as you might think you are, Ian.
Lighthearted and fun.
Ethan Klein.
Lighthearted and fun.
This is a good reaction.
Lighthearted and fun.
That's good. All right.
You guys are missing a category for Zionist.
Who has the N-word pass and who doesn't? Same. He made an apology video directed at Cutie Cinderella, and it was graded by a professional psychologist, Dr. Kirk Honda of Psychology in Seattle.
This is
now we get into the big moment of the video.
socio-fucking-pathic right
Ian does
here.
something whimsical in content cop fashion. This usually leaves an impact on the viewer, whether it be a sketch or him traveling somewhere and doing something comical. So let's see it. I'm ready. Let's see what he's got.
And I don't know if this came from a good place or not.
No,
but I came
it
up
didn't.
With the idea of getting Ethan's grade changed from an A to a B at least.
God, you're
okay,
such a
then this
cunt.
is kind of silly, but let's see where it goes.
I guess have a policy that when there is a grade for an apology, I am just grading that discrete apology.
Why? There's like a shadow around his lips and eyes. It's the same color as his shirt.
As I see it.
Unfortunately, Kirk did not change his grade.
Wait. He didn't even do it? Why the hell is this even in the video?
Yeah,
What the hell happened
give
to
him
you, Ian? This is so pathetic. Also, including this guy in the video is pretty malicious. It's clear he only heard one side. He quickly took down his video on the content cop after Ian reached out and ultimately decided he wanted to stay out of it and just wish the best for everyone. I feel bad for this guy.
Anyone can have their own official apology rating system, so I'm going to rate Ethan's apology a B-.
A B-? Wait a sec. This is so petty. You butthurt son of a bitch.
I think something that's very important to me in bringing back Content Cop is to be fair. In the spirit of Kirk saying that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug, I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say
Oh my
something
God,
nice
haterade.
and charitable about him, because I think he deserves it.
This is definitely the most manipulative part of the video. Don't fucking act like you care.
Yeah, and the black guy who took part in this, saying something nice, was on stream afterwards, and he found out that Hassan decided not to partake. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that was an option.
Retarded concern trolling.
Cunts.
Getting Ethan's enemies to say something nice. Like, after all the shit Denims has done, do you think Ethan really wants to hear, like, the chipper words from Denims? No. A notable person missing here is Hassan, which I kind of got to give him credit for it. Like, at least he's standing on business, unlike Shonda Black, who immediately went back on his statement after the video.
There you go.
And I hate to say it, but I think the only genuine person here is Frogan.
She's
as
genuinely
she recently
fat.
doubled down on her well wishes towards Ethan.
Fuck
Don't get me
her.
wrong. She's still a fucking piece of shit, but I gotta give credit where credit is due.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neela. I'm like, fuck, like, it's really hard to be a couple online and
Oh
see
my
people
God.
attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, if that doesn't always help them.
Hard
right?
F.
Sometimes that makes it worse for them.
Capital.
Oh,
Capital F.
Man, dude, the raped. He's so raped, man. Okay, so don't mind the outfit change. This is recorded about a week after all those other clips. I didn't expect things to keep escalating. A part of me's kind of thankful for it. A part of me wanted to die the second I saw that Content Deputy H3 was uploaded. All right, cut the shit, dude. I am so pissed right now. I live reacted to it on stream, and thankfully, there really wasn't that much in there to cover. In this Content Deputy, he hides behind the thin veil of charity, which, by the way, if you watch the first H3 podcast on the Creator Clash, you see how thin that veil is, okay?
Yeah.
It was only supposed to be a charitable aspect, but when they're criticized for it,
If there
they
was
get to
money
hide
left
behind
over.
it.
Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
Just because your event's
Such
for
a
charity,
cunt.
you could still be criticized. And regardless, it doesn't even fucking matter because you didn't raise a dime for charity last time.
Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders.
That's just the stupidest thing to say. The fuck is wrong with you?
But I can't speak for the internet. The internet...
You definitely can't. Because I don't know if you know this, but the internet fucking hates you. Only a bunch of... I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Nope. I am not going to say a bunch of supporters of... Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. It's just wrong to do it. It's wrong. Don't make me say it.
internet might actually blame you guys for it.
This is
All right, Sand Poseidon.
psychotic. Ian, the internet is not going to blame Ethan and Hila for Creator Clash 3's inevitable failure. What happened with Creator Clash 2? Was it their fault then? Even though they were the only people fucking promoting the event? The only possible way this event is saved is if Hassan uses a socialist grift money. But even then, no one's gonna fucking show up. So in this video,
He's not
Anissa's
gonna be
husband
any part of it.
announces that him and Anissa aren't going to be leading Creator Clash anymore because of drama, which is really...
And there's no proof of that. I bet you he's fucking lying. Lolcows lie. He's lying. He didn't get rid of it. He didn't sell anything. He didn't let someone else have it. No. He's fucking
Interesting,
lying.
and I have a lot of thoughts on that, which I'll talk about later.
Recent revelation that people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I. Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous 2 events.
You guys are still to blame for this fight being barely promoted, for all of this shit failing, and for yet again bringing more drama into the card because you guys don't know how to handle relations behind the scenes, which is very clear, which is probably why you guys stepped down.
I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't, I mean, I can. I just didn't want to. I want to be frank. I didn't think I would be an awesome event organizer.
To be honest, if you felt you weren't going to be a good boxing promoter, why did you do it again after failing the last time? It's very funny how you guys are nudging the blame for Creator Clash 3's failure on Ethan and Hila just in case it inevitably fails. But you guys can avoid all accountability because you guys stepped away from the event. I saw this analogy on the internet. It's like the captain of the Titanic after hitting the iceberg, after the ship is fucking in half, saying, oh, this ain't my fault. I'm not the captain anymore. I'm stepping away from being the captain of this sinking ship. You're still to fucking blame. Your event's still gonna fail. And guess what? If your little promoters have any ounce of smarts, this event will never happen again. Don't support Creator Clash or any charity tied to Ian and Anissa. And in the spirit of being an asshole, I'm going to put a fundraiser on this video for cancer research. If you'd like to donate, at least 1 penny would raise more than Creator Clash 2, so feel free. And if you'd like to waste your money, feel free to join my Patreon, or become a channel member, or fucking throw it at someone else. I don't give a fuck. Ian, you're fired.
We're triggered by this CPS harassment thing, and then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it.
No wonder he equated the CPS shit to you. You joined the shitty people and doing the fucking shitty L dance, and you never decided to denounce them when shit was going bad. By the way, I can't even tell if Ian's just fucking stupid or malicious. I'm leaning on malicious, but sometimes
he's both.
The shit he does is just so fucking retarded. He lies and says the CPS call was the same day that H3 decided to call out Ian and Anissa, which is patently false. They didn't call into the fucking show and raid the show. The reason they reacted the way that they reacted is that when they were messaging you, people like Froggy Tonic and Denims were either directly or indirectly promoting the idea that CPS needed to be called on Ethan and Hila. When they reached out to you, you guys ignored them. This timeline is all fucked up because Froggy Tonic's tweets talking about Ethan as a father and Denim's reacting to Bad Empanado was all before the CPS call. That's why you were in the discussion. That's why they were trying to reach out to you. You ignored them. That's why they talk shit publicly.
Horseshit. He's lying. Like, the whole thing is a fucking lie. He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
How many times are you going to recharacterize this friendship? When it's
too.
convenient, they're close friends. When it's inconvenient, they're horrible fucking light friends. You guys barely fucking knew each other. Yeah, just one of those friendships where you go to each other's houses and meet each other's families and have dinners and sleep over for weeks on end and make shit tons of content publicly. Go to each other when you need favors for each other's careers. Just one of those little buddy, like tiny little, handshake kind of friendships.
But I don't remember a whole lot of Ethan going to idubbbz for help with his career. I mean, it may have happened, but I just don't remember that ever happening.
He's gonna justify the CPS call. Everyone get ready for the war zone.
He does. He fucking does.
Thank you, Yoko Ono. That's actually Ian's wife who says that.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Hila's defense. There was this H3 stream where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking about his own health, his dog having giardia.
Olive has giardia.
His child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
The whole family possibly having giardia.
Oh,
and now Hila has giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS, including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number.
I could not believe this when I saw this, when Ian decided to justify the CPS call.
Come on, is he going to do it? Is someone going to do it? There's not 26,000 people in chat, you fucking idiot.
H3's fans were probably the ones behind it. Absolutely not. This podcast episode and those chat messages were weeks before the call, A. B, they're clearly joking. I know you've been on live streams before. Chat makes a lot of jokes at people's expenses. That's very normal. And you cannot sit here and lie and pretend like Denims was not being malicious. Froggy was not being malicious, and Bad Empanado was not being malicious when they were sharing that shit about Ethan trying to relitigate the situation and make it into something it wasn't. At that point, Giardi had already been debunked.
I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you, because in your video defending yourself, you used a video that takes context from like 3 different places and combines them to make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
You do the same thing as Ethan by showing the chats?
Including Ethan's own chat.
That's clearly an edit, okay? You compiled chats, so did Ethan. Anyone with a brain can recognize that that's an edit. That's not the actual chat going over top the screen. Like, the call was clearly a malicious attempt to harass Ethan. Anyone with a brain can easily recognize that. I guess Ian agrees with Bad Empanada, so that's something. Also, notice how he doesn't mention the human skulls in this video, because that doesn't fit that, oh, it's his fans harassing him.
Or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artist that you work.
Well, I mean, it's the mother of his child. You wouldn't understand that. Your fucking whore of a wife should not even be shown on film, digital or otherwise, much less a tattoo.
With, because that means that they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect.
Oh, so now you're gonna attack his wife. After you've cried for years about people making fun of your wife, you have now opened your wife to a world of criticism from an entirely new audience, and believe me, there's a lot of subject matter. Ian, I'm making this video because you don't understand why you're worthy of criticism. I also like how you don't show the real ratio. You just show the one for idubbbz complaints. That's really secure of you, Ian.
$250,000.
You violated the law.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know that. He did show like a ratio, and it wasn't even for the video. It wasn't for the content cop. It was for an older video.
Now we're going to talk a bit about Creator Clash, the boxing event started by Anissa's husband. Creator Clash is an influencer boxing event meant to gather in a bunch of creators that you wouldn't expect to get in the ring to fight it out, all for charity. The first one was a major success, raising over $1 million for charity, and even every fighter got a bonus, but they didn't.
And it wasn't meant to be charity.
Have enough to pay Airsoft Fatty, apparently. It wasn't without controversy, however, as Ian banned Sam Hyde, someone who helped one of the other fighters, Harley Morenstein, train for the event and was a subject of one of Ian's documentaries. He ended up refunding $10,000 worth of tickets that could have gone to charity to Sam. However, this success did not translate over to the next event. They ignorantly and stupidly assumed that the sequel event would garner more success than the original event. They took no anti-piracy measures, booked a much bigger venue, the Tampa Bay Lightning Stadium, added 4 more fights to the card, paid top dollar for a professional wrestler who isn't even an influencer to fight on the card. They added special parties like galas and photo opportunities before and after.
Yeah, John Morrison or John, whatever his fucking name is. Yeah, he's not going to be fucking cheap. He's pretty recently a fairly large star.
The event, and they paid for the flights of many big creators who weren't even fighting on the event. And guess who got paid flights to the event? You know, Denim, Sasan, you know, the whole crew. And can I say, when you're operating at a loss, you can tend to see that pattern really early on. When you have to pay for that $20,000 comedian, in the end, they came out with a $250,000 deficit to their bank accounts and 0 money for charity. Ian tried rectifying this by doing a charity stream, but only ended up raising $162,000 out of the $250,000. That's not even an idubbbz empathy meter worth of what they raised last time. On top of all of that, Ian caused a lot of controversy before the event, causing a lot of people to try to refund their tickets before they disabled that ability by kicking Froggy Fresh off the card over some dumb Twitter drama and collaborating with Sam Hyde. Mind you, Harley Morenstein the previous year had also collaborated with Sam Hyde. So this was pretty shocking to a lot of fans. One of the reasons I brought that up is because Ian had such a problem with Froggy being friends with Sam Hyde and collaborating with him, but does not understand why Ethan wants people associated with him condemned who have done all this shit to him. Another YouTuber, Jadion, even offered $100,000 to fund.
Because it's different. It's different, you know? It's one is like thinking that you should be grouped in with a bunch of your same people and burned and whatever. And idubbbz got made fun of by a large man. So that's why it's different. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, he doesn't understand that. He's a fucking idiot in every way. Every possible way. idubbbz is fucking lost it. Just shit.
Creator clash
He's
if
a
Ian just let
big
Froggy Fresh
F.
fight, which Ian declined. This means on top of all of their
Capital
expenses,
F.
they had to pay for another fighter as well. That same fighter pummeled the fuck out of Chris Ray Gun because their weight and height difference was pretty major. Now let me be clear. The event was fun. I went and I had a great time. I got to meet lots of creators and get to reconnect with a lot of people that I hadn't seen in years. Plus I got to make new friends. I even met Hassan. It was a fun event and I don't regret going. With all that said, you don't screw up charity. Even calling this boxing event charity is pretty misleading. It implies that there is no for-profit element whatsoever.
Well, not only is there a for-profit, the ticket price doesn't go, none of it goes to charity. None of it goes to charity at all. You have to knowingly donate to a different thing for it to go to charity.
Anissa and Ian had a mask-off moment on the H3 podcast.
And we kind of want it to be like a Super Bowl, like every year.
Do you want to do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
If it works out, then we can do that. And there could always be a charity aspect to it. But I think the main goal is just to get the people paid who are involved in making it happen.
You'd think if they wanted to right their wrongs and ask for a second chance at charity, they would downsize a bit. And sure, they did that fighter-wise, but maybe less dinners, less galas and shit before and after the event. Maybe don't re-rent the Tampa Bay Lightning Stadium that you...
Did you guys ever hear why he justified all those parties? Because after the first one, he felt bad. Because he woke up, everybody was gone. He didn't have a place to process his trauma, as he said. There was no one to talk to. And so that's why they had all of these expensive events after the second one. Yeah, nothing to do with showing off for your weirdo fucking terrorist friends. No, not at all.
Couldn't even fill last time. And also maybe don't jeopardize your event by putting one of your fighters who is from one of the biggest promotion opportunities that you've had at your past two events in a shitty situation like you've just done. A little update on the situation. So one of the main card fighters, Harley Morenstein from Epic Mealtime, dropped out. Why did he drop out? Well, one of the reasons was because when he agreed to fight, they agreed that all fighters would be getting paid the same amount. But when Harley talked to his opponent, LA Beast, turns out he was getting paid more. Another reason is Harley felt quite uncomfortable with this whole drama, with Ian seeming...
Yeah, look at the guy's last name.
To side with pro-terrorist and pro-Hamas people like Hassan, Denims, and Frogan. And by the way, I don't know if you knew this, I don't know if you could tell by the fucking last name, but
Yeah.
Harley Morenstein is a Jew! The main card of this fight was not meant to be Israel versus Palestine, it was supposed to be Harley versus LA Beast. He was also quite uncomfortable with the use of the swastika sword in the content cop, and unfortunately, shortly after, Lena Ayad from the H3 podcast, the wife of AB, decided to drop out as well. And what's really fucked up about that is, as I said, if Ian had a spine, he would buy her out. He didn't, and that's fucked up. But thankfully, Ethan did decide to cover the costs that Lena and AB were going to face because Ian decided not to buy them out, which is nice. Creator Clash 3 will likely fail, and I won't be supporting it. However, I will be rooting
it's
for
gonna
Lena
fail.
on the sidelines. Maybe if shit hadn't hit the fan and there was better marketing, I would have ended up going again. However, given the fact that the UFC and Jake Paul are also having fighting events the same night across the country, and that VidCon is literally the week before all the way across the country, I don't see much success here. And those ticket sales are not looking too good. I'll paraphrase something that Nicholas Diorio said. If you want to support charity, donate directly. If you want to waste money, donate to me.
Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous two events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership.
Balls.
We are,
no balls.
you know, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event.
Another grand.
Yeah, Jake Paul, the same night. They announced it after Creator Clash has been announced. So I think they did it on purpose. Just part of me does. And then the UFC is having an event. I don't think anybody knows what the main event is yet, but it doesn't matter. It's UFC. It's gonna sell.
Grand idea that Ian had was to give the event to the people who ran the last two events. Were they a part of the financial decisions to run all those galas, buy out the hotels, get the comedian and all that other shit? I'd like to see the finances. Were they a part of those shitty financial decisions? Let's see some accounting.
Well, you're not going to see any of that because idubbbz is still in charge of it. He's a fucking liar.
And speaking of accounting, I find it extremely suspicious that you claim that you're not getting any financial benefit from this. You made a big investment to make this event, and you're just not going to get anything back from it. I don't buy that for a fucking second.
He's a liar.
It's just not how finance works. You are most certainly getting your investment back if you have any smarts whatsoever.
He's a fucking liar.
And if not, I just find it extremely suspicious. Let's see some fucking accounting, because I don't believe that for a second. You've proven to be malicious. You might.
He'll say the same shit. I don't have to show anybody anything. Just like fucking Cyrax, like all fucking filthy piece of shit locals.
Not be gaining anything financially, but you sure as hell have to be getting your investment back, which means less money for charity. You also gotta love this characterization that it's because of drama and not that Ian and Issa did anything wrong. You guys fucked up the last event, you fucked this event, but it's not your fault. It's all H3's fault. You guys are free from any blame. It's because of everyone else. You're just so fucking spineless, dude.
And actually said it too. I'm not gonna blame you. I know you don't. I know you guys don't want to take accountability for anything. Which why would they take accountability for your event? And then say, but I think the internet might have a different take on it. The internet might blame Ethan.
You bringing up Lena dropping out of the fight was you publicly showing to your fans, like, I don't approve of this. You were saying this shit before the content cop even came out.
Which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
I was totally on board until the organizer put out a video calling me a psychopath.
Well.
You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her.
Why would I do such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have as much agency as I do.
What a cunt.
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
You have no fucking place to blame Ethan for the Lena situation. Why did Harley drop out then? Was that Ethan's fault too? It's because you're a horrible fucking boss. To wrap up this video, we're going to take a look at what growing and changing looks like. Losing all sense of irony, not pushing vulnerable people's buttons unless it's beneficial to your career. Don't morally grandstand unless you've grown and changed. Harassment is bad, with one exception. Racism is bad, but anti-Semitism is okay. It's okay if you promote terrorists, but not if you condemn them. America deserved 9/11. Either all of them are okay or none of them okay? No, but some of them are. Having money is bad. I'm being a bit facetious, however, it is pretty clear that while, yes, Ian has changed, it doesn't seem like he gained any empathy for anyone other than himself. In fact, I almost argue that Ian is more bigoted now than he ever was.
Yeah, he didn't change. It's just that he was putting on a huge act before. You know, he was throwing shit at the wall. And watch his really early stuff. It's not the same. He found something that works and he became that character. Whether that's him now is the real him or is he playing another character?
At
He's
least
just
before he
fucking
had the
fake.
excuse of just making a joke, but all throughout his recent video, he was patronizing all kinds of groups of people. As for Anissa, I don't think Ian's change is entirely her fault. I think they have an equal role of this retardation. Anissa's problem is Anissa. She's extremely unlikable and always has been. Ian sees something in her, and I guess good for him. But take one.
I still think that he lost his virginity to her. I think that, you know, if your first time is just a dirty whore, I mean, who knows? I don't know. Especially if you're like awkward and just fucking dork.
Look at her Twitter and see why people feel the way they feel about her. She does herself no favors. Ian, if you're going to be upset with Ethan wanting you to speak out, maybe don't give him a reason to be upset by openly endorsing Froggy Tonic and Denims after what they did, making it clear whose side you're taking on your podcast, or make a 1-hour video shitting on the guy. Now, as someone who has benefited from the use of therapy, I gotta say that this weaponization and reliability of therapy is extremely fucking annoying and overdone. At this point, it's beyond concern trolling. Can I just...
It's not even, you know, therapy's a good thing. You know, people should try it, whatever. No, you're telling him that he needs to go do that. He needs therapy. That's different than suggesting it or even just talking about your own therapy. You're telling someone. It's basically the same as saying, you know, you're crazy, you're insane, you're making it up, it's all in your head, you need therapy.
Just say, if I was deeply depressed and thinking about getting help, and I saw this latest video of Anissa's husband recommending therapy to me, I would run away. His latest video is anti-therapy propaganda. Finally, the last point I'll mention on this episode is about the series itself. Content Cop was always meant to be a little bit funny. However, in this latest one on H3, I think I audibly chuckled only a few times, and most of it was because of jokes that Ethan was making in the clips. There was only one occasion where one of Ian's jokes actually landed. In conclusion, being pro-Palestine or making charity events does not absolve you of criticism. And I can't find a person more worthy of criticism than idubbbz. But that's going to do it for today's episode of Content Cop. If you have any recommendations or if you want me to keep going, just let me know in the comments below. If you'd like...
All right. All right. Well, that was all right. I mean, it wasn't the best thing in the world. It was better than anything idubbbz has done in a very long time. Yeah, I don't think he did a horrible job at all. It's like, you know, it was decent, you know. It's like you always are going to hold him to the idubbbz standard in his old Content Cop. So, of course, it's not that. But like I said, it's much better than anything idubbbz has done in the past 5 years, 6 years, 4 years, 3 years. All right, let's see what we've got here from Air Shit Fatty. Let's see what we got. Why am I trying to... Oh, my God. Fortnite Shield in real life. What the hell? All right. Cooking... Okay, this one is Content Cop. Yeah, you're not a lolcow or anything, you know. Next video, why I deleted my Discord server. Let me guess. All right, so where is this response? Is it the 420 unboxing? Oh, we watched that one already. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've seen that already. We can watch it again, but yeah, we pissed on it quite a bit. You see, it's red all the way up.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I thought he was quite insane himself.
I'm going to be blunt to the point and just get this over with. Because this is not an easy video for me to do. First off, Ian, what's going on?
Yeah, like I said, it's. I'm not going to talk much during this, but yeah, he should have made another Discord server video instead of this thing.
Remember me, right? I hope so. Because I've seen that you come back recently in an official capacity and allow me to officially say, welcome back. Something the fans don't know about, but you sure as hell do, is the fact that I have reached out plenty of times through email the past year. I've called your old number. I've texted your old number, got nothing. You've blocked me on Instagram. And on YouTube, it seems you've hit all my comments because neither you nor anyone who watches those videos ever replies to me or asks it.
Well, you got to understand that I probably say the exact same thing I said last time. Can you blame him? I'm not standing up for idubbbz, but you're fucking unhinged. I might just block you just in case you ever decide to comment on anything. You know, because you're fucking weirdo.
They've even seen my comments.
Batshit crazy.
That being said, it does appear that this has become the one way I have to reach out to you. So firstly, I want to talk about Full Force. You know, that beautiful documentary you made on me.
It fucking sucks.
And you see,
because remember, it's all coming back now. You know, basically, idubbbz gave him everything on a silver platter, and he fucked it up. He completely fucked it up because he's a fucking moron, and he blames idubbbz for not holding his hand through life. Like, making a video on him is not the same as adopting your local fat kids. No, he's not your dad. He said in his video.
my father taught me a little saying that I've been looking at that documentary through the past few weeks, and I've realized something. And my father's saying was that the figure...
And somewhere in here, he says that, you know, I don't even know what the fucking point was that he said these words. That the idubbbz video was like one of the only pieces of footage that he has of his mother. That just makes you a bad fucking son. It has nothing to do with idubbbz at all. That makes you a piece of shit son. It's not the first time a goddamn camera's been in your house, you dumbass. You were making videos on it, on your shit, a long time before idubbbz came in the picture. You were making the weird fucking just shit meat sandwiches and drinking some fucking Windex and all that crap. Why didn't you turn the camera on your mom? Make a few videos of her.
Figures don't lie, but liars will always find a way to figure.
God, he's such a piece of shit.
So let's look at the figures. Let's look at the facts of what the video is. So Full Force is your #1 most viewed video, and it is the video that has made you the most fucking money, period.
Now, you gotta admit, though, that he deleted all his good videos, right? And not to mention, the Leafy episode of Content Cop has been banned off of YouTube. So I'm not exactly sure if you're right there. Currently, maybe.
Both in sponsorship money and ad views.
Jesus.
Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it a lot. I really do.
Really?
It brought a lot of attention. You brought a light to my crazy-ass life. And I will forever be grateful for this opportunity.
Really?
24 million views later. All these years later, right? We're here, right now.
Are we?
In a season of airing dirty laundry. Spring cleaning, as they call it. So, it's time to air some out. Call me a content detective if you would.
I won't do that.
Because
I won't be doing
to be
that.
addressed about my relationship with Ian and Full Force in general. So let's address this, all right? When you first came to Battle Creek, Ian, that was a huge honor. And I mean that. It was a huge honor. If my mother were here, she'd tell you about how when you first pulled up, I didn't think you were real. I was fake. But then I looked out the window, and there the fuck you were. And I said to myself, no fucking way, it's real. Man, you were a fucking legend, my guy. The thing is, you know,
You're reading this.
during filming, you shot me a lot of looks. You shot your camera guy a lot of looks. Not kind looks, per se. You made a lot of jokes that I, at the time, had fly over my head because I was starstruck.
They still are over your
But,
head because you're very short.
Now that I look back at it, I really don't appreciate the way that you portrayed Robert. Now, I get it, me and him were fighting at the time. We had bad blood.
The Psycho?
But you made him look pretty Dahmer-like. You made him look pretty Dahmer.
By what? Focusing the camera on him or airing the audio that went along with the video? Is that what it takes to make someone look like Dahmer? I don't really remember what are you really talking about, but I remember there was another person.
Dahmer-like.
You know.
And in reality, he's more like a Vegeta to my Goku.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's simple. He's not Dahmer, dude. And you know, the lightsaber fight at the end, that was pitiful. I'm gonna be honest, it was fucking pitiful. Both on my part and yours. You never were honoring me. At all.
Why would he be?
You weren't honoring my originality.
Oh, Jesus
You
Christ.
weren't honoring my content.
Wasn't there some other fat kid in a garage swinging a lightsaber? Seemed like you're just ripping him off.
No, you were just making jokes. Jokes.
On
Jokes
someone
on jokes.
on someone who calls himself Airsoft Fatty.
And, you know, that's all fine. That's all fine and dandy. But what makes me upset about it is you claim to be on a redemption arc, and yet you've completely glossed over someone that you've fucked over majorly. Like, fucking majorly. Let me ask you this. Ian, okay?
How'd he fuck you over? That's what
Let's say you
I don't even remember.
develops a skill, and it gets him a lot of views.
Come on. His kid. He's got no balls. And his wife is a man. So he's not having any kids.
Or maybe he's just a weird guy in general and gets a lot of views, right?
Yeah, he took nothing from you. He gave
gets to a
you
point that this famous guy comes and makes the documentary
life on a silver platter, and you shit on that platter.
on him, and this documentary becomes slowly his most highest viewed and highest grossing film he's ever made.
Jesus. Retcon.
But then your son doesn't see a penny of it. And then not only that, but calls your son out to the national anthem for a baseball game. It doesn't fucking pay him. And when he's there, don't give him no fucking respect. Because I'm almost fucking certain you and Anissa would raise hell. Straight up fucking hell. D&D level of 7-layered hell. But I'm supposed to keep shut about it. I get that we were making a lot.
You fucked up the national anthem. You couldn't even sing it.
Content gold. But the problem is, that tarnished me a little bit. Like, badly. And you know, at
Tarnished?
first, it was life-changing. I started being able to pay bills with the money I made from YouTube. I started getting major views and everything else. But something that came with it was the fucking trolling. I have come to know that this internet has some fairly nasty people on it, okay? Because let me tell you something. I will give you a very good fucking example. And you're going to realize why I'm upset. Because while I'm dealing with all this, you're there cashing the checks and not even thinking to say hello. But the simple fact is, right, you make all this money off me. You got all that clout off me. And then
Jesus Christ.
you block me, cut me off over nothing? Over a simple fucking what?
Because you're a fucking spurg. Can't take you in public. You'd fucking hump someone's leg. You're not fit for normies.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Can't take you out in public and show you off. Look at this fucking retard right here.
Communication skills, buddy. You're like a potato. You don't communicate worth shit. And you know what gets to me the most is that
Potatoes talk to me.
the only footage I have
I
left of my
love
mom's
a potato.
How do you think that feels?
I just think it's fucking hilarious that he thinks that his little shitty documentary was idubbbz's biggest video ever, because he went earlier today, probably earlier that day, and looked and saw that it was right now. Not taking into the account that all of his fucking content cop, the good ones, are gone.
That's the one video on the internet, maybe out of 3, that has your mother's voice in it. And I don't have any private videos or anything. I have one photo album from their wedding.
Because you're a bad son. You're horrible.
That fucking feels, man.
You should be ashamed of your fucking
You
self.
literally put me on a pedestal. You literally made like a Roman family.
Oh my God.
You were like, oh, baby boy born. We take him to woods. We put him on a pedestal, and we leave him there for the wolves. And that's what you did. You took this infant Spartan, and you said, here's your pedestal. There's a wolf there, wolf over there, wolf there. There's one over there just staring at me, waiting me to leave. And I ain't gonna leave you no armor. I'm not gonna leave you no weapon. Bye-bye. And that's what you fucking did. You left me to the goddamn wolves. Here I am. Still here. Still walking, motherfucker.
Still
I
standing.
just walked into your fucking camp. Fucking torn ass eye. Fucking carrying
Spartans
a
are
wood spear.
Romans.
I'm ready to fight.
Spartans are Romans. And they live in a, I don't even know what the fuck to even call that thing he lives in. It's a box. He's got a bunk bed, which tells me he probably has a roommate because he can't afford rent of his box or the mortgage payment of his box. He owns it, right? And the fact that he mortgaged a box.
I really do. Just wanted to legitimately ask, because I'm getting to a point now where I'm getting fucking emotional.
That cat's like
I
trying
wanna
to
ask,
end
was
it
I
back
ever
there.
legitimately interesting to you, Ian? Or was I another fucking joke of yours? Another goddamn video for you to make money off of, like one of your stupid content cops. I'm gonna be honest, right? It's a tough pill to swallow when
Sweetie, I don't think anything's hard for you to swallow.
people to this day make fun of you. Because when you were a little kid, a little autistic kid, you broke down and turned to the one place you felt safe turning to. When you called me for Creator Clash 1 to do the anthem, I was honored. But something that you never told people, and I kept my mouth shut for the longest time, is I never got paid to do Creator Clash. No, you guys...
You probably said you didn't want to get paid, or that I'm sure it was offered, and you're just going to retcon all that. You did a fucking terrible job. I'm sure there were people in the audience who didn't know who the fuck you were, and they were probably insulted. Not only that these idiots brought this fucktard on stage to disgrace the country's anthem, but then there's you who actually disgraced it.
I just want to know how Creator Clash went. I'm just going to knock the whole Creator Clash thing out, like right fucking now, okay? Because this is where I'm going to get the most mad. I went out there for a second time, gave you your most viral fucking moment for your stupid boxing event, right? And
Now, they paid you. They paid you. They paid for your flight. They paid for your hotel. You didn't spend a dime, right? Say they didn't pay you.
don't get me wrong, it's not stupid. It's a good cause, right? But the fact, I'm pissed, dude. I went there. I wasn't getting paid. You flew me out the night before. I didn't get checked in.
Because it wasn't a fucking weekend. They didn't give you a vacation. They flew you out for the event. What is so hard to understand?
Into a hotel room till close to fucking midnight. The next morning, when I went to the event, I was supposed to have a spot I could go to where I could be alone because I don't do too good with large crowds.
Oh, God.
You know, where I could just go practice.
Maybe you should have thought of that before you said, hey, yeah, I'll do the national anthem in front of 15,000 people. Sure.
For a bit, get myself in the mood, and I got put in a little side room with the catering, with people coming in and out. I'm like nervous as shit, and it was so bad to a point when the arena manager came in to get something, and I was sat there kind of
entitled
nervous,
fat
and,
little
people just
fuck.
walking in on me like that. It's one thing to know you're going on stage and know you're going to do it. It's another thing we just randomly have people walk in. He came up to me, and what's the first thing he says to me? Hey, man, I'm a veteran, and, you know, I just want to make sure you're not about to go out there and fuck this all up, right? Like, you're not about to go out there and wrap this thing, are you?
Well, it's a reasonable question. And you did. You did fuck it up.
Fuck yeah. That's what I want to fucking hear before I perform. And what's fucking better? I got one sentence with you the whole fucking trip. The guy who brought me out to do it said...
The guy who paid for you to come out, who paid your room and board, right?
One sentence to me.
Which
the
is
entire time.
one sentence more than you deserve. Oh. In a video full of bad decisions, we make another one.
How I didn't get mad. Nah. Mother side of me is too fired up now.
I want to know, did you think, are you like Cyrax? Did you think that you could sing well? Did you think that you knew the words to the national anthem? Or did you know you were there to be a joke? I really would like to know what he thought. If he thought that he was performing like he was going to do a good job. I mean, if you knew that you were going to do a shit job and fuck it all up, why do you have to prepare to fuck something up?
I sat there and gave you another legendary performance. And again, what was I left with? Nothing. I didn't get paid. I didn't get no fucking sponsorship.
Sponsorship?
And don't get me wrong. I was happy to do it unpaid because it was for a good cause. But I was expecting to at least be able to hang with you at some point before the fight, or get more than just a sentence, or maybe have you say something like, hey, good luck, like I did to you during the one little sentence exchange we had. I said to you, yeah, good luck out there, man. I hope you get...
Why is this wearing mascara?
I hope you do good, man. You're doing something good here. Kiss your fucking ass. You don't seem to understand, Ian, that every time you've caused drama for yourself, in some capacity, it's always trickled down to me.
Every
You
time?
made that content cup. And a lot of people are mentioning to me, I couldn't escape it. I never could escape your fucking gravity. And yet here I am, and I still stand. And you know what? Okay.
That's like saying the Earth can't escape the moon's gravity. Is that what you're trying to say?
Okay. I'm still standing, and I've slipped and tripped a bunch of times, fallen on my face a few times, but I'm still fucking standing, okay? Anyhow, this is kind of my first time addressing this in all a formal way, a more thought out and more actual...
I think it's the mascara that's doing it, because he's definitely got some guy liner on or something. Suffer, fat ass, suffer.
Ian, don't you think it's kind of weird, the position you put me in? It was solved by your boogeyman, Sam Hyde.
Yeah, you're still making this video.
Baba Yaga took care of me. Man that I...
So then why are you making this video, dummy? I'm sure Sam paid him diddly shit, but, you know, Sam is still making the kind of content that idubbbz would like to be making before the airsoft fatty. He just can't. Which is why Sam does it in other places, has his own TV show on the internet, so he can do and say what he wants. Because that's really the only thing that you could do with this guy, is somewhere where you can't be censored.
should have been afraid of because of your experience with him.
Because, yeah, whenever it...
Became my messiah.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, whenever this ultimately ends the way it's going to end, which is he's going to fuck it up. He's going to fuck it all up. He's going to screw somebody over. He's going to think he's more famous than he is, more talented than he is. Sam's going to make a joke, and all of a sudden he has learned what jokes go over his head and what don't, and he's going to bite the hand that feeds him again. And then we're going to get one of these about Sam Hyde, and Sam Hyde's going to laugh at you. Oh. Channel permissions got wiped.
And he helped me. And that's your arch nemesis
So like Discord mod, you mean?
right there. By the way, that wasn't even orchestrated. I didn't even realize that was the dude that was fucking with you. You know, my best friend B, he originally reached out to Sam for me because, like, I was going through some shit. I was going homeless that fucking week when I reached out to him.
I think it's the missing teeth. I think he's got missing teeth. And if he doesn't, his mouth is already like preparing for it. Because, you know, you could tell when someone has no teeth and their jaw deteriorates and their lips like flap a little bit. And he's got that pre-condition.
Because guess what?
Chicken butt.
Some of the trolls that came from you were calling my landlord at the time, making death threats to a point that I was asked to move and given a 1-week notice.
I'm pretty sure those are your trolls.
So my buddy B reached out on a whim.
They might be his trolls too, but they're your trolls. They're there for you. I don't really think idubbbz had any trolls until no real trolls, and until he made that video saying that he wasn't everybody's dad.
And got me on Fish Tank Season 1. So by the way, that wasn't even fucking orchestrated. I didn't even know who the guy was until after I was already on my way. You know what the worst fucking part is?
You
I
making
reached
this
out to
video?
you first.
And
I reached out to you about that situation. I didn't ask you for money. I said, I need some advice. And then you sat there and told me, sometimes you just gotta cut the bleeding limb off and get a job. Is that what you say to someone that you thought had potential? Or is that something that you say to someone that you consider a waste?
well, I mean, you proved yourself to be a waste. I mean, look at yourself. He didn't know at the time that you were such a piece of shit that you never took a picture of your own mother, that you had a phone with a camera to make your shit videos, and you never thought one time to turn it around and capture the moments of that you have with your mother. No. No one maybe knew that. Maybe they thought maybe you could be something, but then you proved otherwise. And once you prove otherwise, well, that's just it.
Answer me that, Ian.
I just did.
The very
Stop
demon
calling me Ian.
that haunted you. And a random man in relation to you. My friend B and Sam helped change me into the man that I am today. was just a teenager when my fucking dad died.
Again, who?
And now I'm sitting here in my own home.
Oh my
that I
God.
own. That I got a handed fucking building. You know what's even infinitely better?
The fact that that fire extinguisher could probably put out an entire fire in your whole house a couple of times. It would douse the fire completely. I don't know if it's on or whose property it's on, but I know that it was like it was like crowd funded. And I think that there was a lot of hoops they had to jump through because you're not supposed to live in a shed. It's not set up for that kind of stuff. But I guess they engineered it to where there is like running water now or something. It's like Chris Rock said, you know, you can drive a car with your feet. Doesn't mean it's a good idea.
In the past year alone, I've lost nearly 150 pounds. Yeah. That's the truth right there.
Well, the only thing that idubbbz has done good is he lost about 250 pounds or 350 pounds. And that is you.
You know what? I feel like this needs to be said publicly. Sad as it may seem, Sam has never once said a bad thing to me about you.
That's because he probably doesn't talk to you. You're not in his inner circle. You're not with him and his little mods and the guys that were in that video that are sitting down and like making the decisions of the channel and for the TV show. You're the help. So yeah, he's not going to bring you in to that inner circle because you're a fucking idiot.
And I mean that. He's never mentioned it. Never even mentioned you. He doesn't give a fuck. I mean, come on, man.
Well, of course he doesn't.
Man down in their luck. And
Why?
Right now, you know, I needed a friend, you know?
Well, you got one, right?
Well, thank God.
You and Sam. There you go.
Thank God he was listening. And he sent me B, and he sent me Sam.
What?
Because it's sure as hell not on Satan's left nutsack was it you. I'm going to be honest with you. That cop...
What?
Cop situations, and I mean wolf rough. I mean, you're not really seeing the big picture, are you? Those friends of yours harassed my dude. And I mean, they seriously harassed him. Worse than any of the Stubbs harassment I've ever gotten. You gotta be kidding me.
There's still time. There's still time.
After they had CPS show up to that person's house. I can't even talk proper. After they had CPS show up to H3's house, dude. At 6 fucking a.m. You had those...
You know why they do that? Because they try to get you in when you're not expecting it. And so they don't want to like schedule it. And we're going to be there at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning so that you have a chance. If you are a piece of shit and someone that needs CPS called on you, an actual someone who does not take care of their kids, you don't know how to, you just can't, you don't have the ability mentally, financially, whatever. So you don't have a chance to fake it. They want to catch you off guard. And most people who, you know, are doing nothing wrong, they're raising their kids how they want to, and it's not wrong. No matter how dirty his house is, how cluttered it might be from just day-to-day stuff, it's not going to be like someone who needs CPS called. And so, yeah, if the kids were at school, it's definitely not 6 o'clock in the morning. His kids, I don't know how old they are, but they're fairly young. And these days, the younger you are, the earlier you have to be at school. Because for some reason, they make it to where high schoolers don't go to school until 9, 10, whatever. because in their minds, they're like, well, if you make it too early, they're going to drop out. So you're just preparing them for failure later on. You're going to say, okay, yeah, you'll get a job where they'll let you come in at 10, 11. You just make your own hours. No. That's why they fucking make you go to school early every single fucking day, to prepare you for life.
As someone who's dealt with CPS before, do you know how terrified those fucking kids must have been, Ian? Or are you too fucking greedy and selfish to think about that? About how their kids must have fucking felt. And don't even get me started, that idiot saying, oh, they don't form memories at 3.
Well, she is an idiot.
Scientists disagree. People with a degree disagree. People with half a brain cell disagree. But those are your friends, right? Right? I don't get what the fuck it is that you gain from chilling with these people.
Well, she gets footage. He gets footage of his wife getting dicked by Hassan.
Think about it like this.
It's worth it to
You
him.
have a swastika sword, a Nauruzi symbol, and you're wearing the fucking Palestinian flag.
Which, yeah, you know those Palestinians, they're known for their swastikas. You're not making a good point here.
You really think that was going to win your fans over, man? Do you really think something like that?
And Fatty, he doesn't want his fans. He's lost his fans. He's not looking to get them back. He can't get them back. He's looking for new fans. He's looking for the extreme left wing.
Is going to be that gets people going, yeah, my ear jimmies are jingling. Or is that some shit that's going to get people looking at you like,
Put it back
that's
on.
off for the funeral march, because that definitely ain't the end we know.
Put it back on. Put it back on.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Hats off, thumb in my pocket. Yeah, it's over, Ian.
What?
It's just rubbing shoulders with your enemies. You know, if that's no big deal, then why are we here? Why did you cut me off completely? That's something I want to know.
You're a fucking idiot.
Why? Why was Froggy Fresh banned from the event?
Because he talks shit about his wife. If he had come out and just said that, people probably would have respected a lot more than they did because of how he did it. Because he's a spineless little pussy. If he came out and said, you know, you talk shit about my wife, you're fucking fired. And sure had a lot to do with Sam Hyde too.
Was it because he was trained by Sam Hyde? I knew Sam Hyde? Is that why you have me blocked and everything?
No.
I mean, come on, it's the same thing with Ethan, right? It's worse because it's involving children. That's the worst part. You're doing this to a man and his kids. This ain't just a one-on-one situation now.
And see, that's the only good point he makes. And it's the only point. And everybody's made that point. He's not going to understand it because you tell it to him. Like I said, it is the only point. They're fucking with his kids.
This is becoming personal, bro. Since Full Force, I really have grown quite a bit. I've been asked to Wilson, I've met Kai Cenat. I was even on ESPN puking out the hot dog.
God, he's just so famous. He's so fucking famous. God damn. So famous. You would think that the idubbbz video did nothing for him, right? Yeah. What did Sam really do? The first thing, I don't know if you watched the video, but that started off with Sam Hyde and company giving idubbbz a copyright strike. And when idubbbz asked him to take the strike back, he said he would if he squatted like 250 or something like that. And of course, idubbbz couldn't do that. He's got little chicken legs. And he held a grudge for years because of that. And when he finally got famous and started doing his little documentaries, he's like, okay, now's the time. Now's the time. I'm going to get back at Sam Hyde. I'm going to make... It was a legit... I mean, it wasn't really legit, but it was his content he was using. It was like... it was one of those Kickstarter craps. It was a joke. The listing was a joke. And so basically idubbbz shitting on it, and it basically brought it into light or whatever. And they didn't want him to, I don't know. It was just, it was supposed to be a joke Kickstarter thing. And then, so yeah, years later, he decides he's going to make a video on Sam Hyde, and he's going to make him look like a piece of shit. And so Sam Hyde, knowing that's probably what's going to happen, he decides to concoct this story that they're renting out this huge building and wasting all this money. And they've got all the stupid things they show in that video. That he's got some crazy drug-addled girlfriend who's like hitting on idubbbz. And so like everything that was in idubbbz's documentary was put on, was faked by Sam Hyde and company. And he revealed that later on in the video. And then I guess idubbbz kind of decided not to go through with the documentary. And so time passed and just on and on and on and on. And he wouldn't release the video. So then Sam decided to take the video that they took and go ahead and do their documentary. And of course, like a week later, then idubbbz knee-jerk reaction goes ahead and releases his. And neither video was all that bad about the other, but it was funny how, you know, what kind of video would it have been if Sam Hyde didn't release his, if idubbbz actually had the balls to release it. And so, yeah, he would make a documentary on Sam Hyde saying one thing, and then Sam Hyde would really make him look like an ass by then releasing the gotcha stuff afterwards. But it didn't happen that way. And so we got the gotcha before the idubbbz video. And so, but if you watch either video, at the end, they kind of seemed like they were, you know, decent with each other. And it almost seemed like Sam Hyde was like a father figure to him at points in that video, teaching him how to drive a fucking stick shift, doing boxing training and all that stuff. And I think he just got his ego his ego got hurt by it. And I think after that, Sam Hyde was making jokes about his wife. And he got offended, as he does. And yeah, Sam Hyde is not one that you're going to really get the upper hand with, especially with comedy stuff. I mean, someone may be funnier than Sam Hyde, but he's going to do whatever he can do to get the last laugh, I guess. And he did.
5 different bowling lads, all right? Opened up for fucking Playboy Cardi. And of course, you know, at the same time, Travis Scott for Complex Con.
Yeah, you sound so famous. God, idubbbz really fucked you over.
And yet, you know, I performed, you know, I opened up for Shane Gillis for a sold-out show back when he was in Boston. You know, Badlands Chugs fucking does regular work with me. I'm still uploading weekly to my channel. Still doing all this fucking work.
Why the fuck are you making this video then? Just because you got Your feelings hurt. I'm sure none of it probably really even happened. But still, just the fact that he's flexing this stuff in 1 second and then crying the next.
Even when I'm a turtle with a shell that's had C4 put on it and exploded. I've started this lost journey. I've built a fucking home. I'm making strong friendships.
It's a fucking box.
And I've come to have a family now that I actually care about.
The cat.
A family that isn't going to turn their fucking back on me.
The cat that just turned his back on you and jumped to its death, thinking it was a lot taller bed than it was.
Something you desperately need. To be able to put my side of the story out there, how hard it is to find any semblance of normalcy in my life, because that documentary has done so fucking much. I can't get a fucking 9 to 5 anymore. I can't go get a regular job, Ian.
You know, it's the same thing. 9 to 5 is the regular job kind of thing. You think it might be that you're fucking idiot with orange hair? I'm sure someone would hire you. You just have to stop being this. You can be that when you get home and you turn the camera on. But at work, you got to be just that. Just yourself. Hey, Mike, that's what I was saying. I think he had to rent out the top bunk to help pay the mortgage on his the box is what that is, because you're seeing the entire building pretty much. That is it. I don't think he has a bathroom. He might piss in the sink.
And that's not the only reason, but that one video has more views than any of my videos combined.
Well, that just means that your content was shit.
So,
have you watched your content? Have you seen it? It's fucking awful.
Especially now that you're so PC, judgmental of your past, how come you won't address our friendship? How come you choose to run away?
Because just like all of his old content, he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed of saying the N-word. He's embarrassed of not having empathy. And he's embarrassed about making a video of a Star Wars airsoft shit eater. Whatever that stuff you would eat. Meat salad.
Your biggest video subject that you ever had. When your newest, biggest video ever could have literally been redeeming yourself by helping that subject turn things around.
But you've turned it around, right?
Here's my pat on the back.
You've turned it around. You're opening for Michael Jackson and Prince and all the people you said, whoever the fuck they were, right? It's all smooth sailing for fat ass.
I want you to understand that I do appreciate all the opportunities that you've done.
Yeah, do you think DSP is like hanging out with June the King?
Because it's brought me.
It was a pity. It was definitely a pity. This is definitely a pity me video. And the saddest thing is the comments on this. People saying, "You go fatty, you're awesome," and instead of giving him the truth that he really fucking needs, that it's dog shit. It's the worst take ever. This is probably worse than Content Cop. Nah, not that bad.
To a point where I am today. But there are parts that still to this day unfair. Unfair.
Now, when I first watched this video, I made the connection back then that he reminds me of the dude from Happy Gilmore. Not Shooter McGavin, but the psycho that Shooter McGavin brings in. The one that wants to go to Sizzler and Red Lobster with him. He comes in to do the dirty work. I'm thinking he was trying to do that for idubbbz. He's like, idubbbz is getting shit on. And so idubbbz picks up the phone and says, "I need you." And he's like, oh, okay, Ian. Okay. Can we go to Sizzler? Go to Red Lobster? And so comes in to make this video shitting on Ian to get the heat off of him so people would troll him instead of idubbbz. But it didn't work. That's my tinfoil hat theory.
Causes me fucking pain. And it sucks. Because I've done all that for you.
Did
but you
what?
can't have one conversation with me. I respect you as a creator. You know what I'm saying? You can't not have respect for you. You're a legend. The name idubbbz TV is always going to exist in some capacity. Whether it's a joke or something we take serious. I valued the friendship we had. I also need to understand that every time you point a finger at someone, there are
He fucking looked that one up and he fucked it all up.
at least 100 fingers pointing right back at you.
That's right. Because, as human beings, we have 101 fingers on each hand. So that when I point at you, I've got over 100 fingers pointing back at me. Let's hear that again.
Someone. Every time you point a finger at someone, there are at least 100 fingers pointing right back at you. How are you
At least
so
100.
judgmental when, you've got yourself into situations like this and you've got them unsolved? I mean, come on.
What subreddit do you think he's reading from?
Do you believe in karma? Do you believe in redemption at all?
You mean the WWE wrestler from 2007-ish?
Have you
Big fat black girl?
actually considered a redemption arc without coming back for me? And after all, you left me to the dust, man.
I remember this even more now because Airsoft Fatty doesn't understand me. Doesn't understand that I can't be fooled. You can't get a fart by me. You can't make a video, especially a pre-recorded video where you were not talking when you farted and you couldn't edit that out. No, you left it in. You shit your pants and left it in there.
And after all, you left me to the dust, man. For me? And after all, you left me to the dust, man. Back for
Speaking
me?
of dust,
And after all, you left me to the dust, man. You left me holding the bag. And the worst part is that
the worst part is you just shit yourself and you're using all kinds of weird terms about dust and bags. Too soon.
bag to this date is still empty.
What?
Is that bag to this date is still empty?
But you have all this fame.
It's dust in the wind. So I'm reaching out.
After farting,
Okay.
you're going to use that. After you
I was
shit your
beside-
pants.
Crocodile tears. Or some weird black guy in the background dancing with me. That makes no fucking sense. I'm not sitting here with some chick gaslighting me as I gaslight her. But as a man,
Just admit that you are the one who wants Frogan. Just admit it, fatty.
face to face, YouTuber to YouTuber. I'm gonna read this to you real quick.
I'm a
I hope we can have an
MySpacer.
open conversation about this in the future.
Open
Maybe we can
relationship.
even work together again, but this time, it makes sense for both of us. And not just you.
Jesus Christ.
Drop your shield and hit me up. I'd love to film a Full Force 2 with you.
Oh my God.
So how much my life has changed. And heck,
Yeah, you went from living in a house to living in a box. And you still have no footage of your dead mother.
I'd love to come help you with Creator Class 3. Matter of fact, fuck the rest of this.
It actually said that.
There's a little bit more, but fuck that.
It actually said that in the thing he wrote. It said, fuck this. Fuck the rest of that.
All in all, look, as much shit as you have done to me, I still would like to have a friendship with you. I still would like to have a conversation with you. I still would like to help you do good things. So please, unblock me.
You want to wear him as a condom while you fuck Frogan.
Record it if you wanted to, for all I gave a shit. But can we not have one conversation?
We don't want any evidence of that.
Done for you.
All he's done for you, idubbbz. I think you should call him. Let's see. Airsoft penis. All right, let's see what we got here. Falling up the stairs. It's like reminds me of that Eddie Murphy Delirious with Aunt Bunny. Oh Lord, help me, please, Jesus. Minute 27. Okay, that's a short.
You learn to use potty like a big girl, okay? And stop throwing your piss on people's shit. Maybe stop throwing up on people, Chris.
Stop throwing your piss on people's shit. He's got shorts on. He's got shorts.
Maybe chill out a little bit.
Get this F off the screen. Although it probably should remain.
You're kind of on edge. You better chill out.
All right, the chat is covering, so let me just move that there a little bit. Move the old color source out of there. There we are. I didn't. Oh, what's his name? Fuck. You guys knew what I'm talking about. Didn't Frank Hassel? Didn't he fall up the stairs or something too?
He fell down from that fifth step all the way down.
I mean, you fell down like 3 stairs and you slid down them. I'm sure it hurt your shin. Probably that seems like it would fucking hurt. But that much crying? Come on, you little bitch. Man, Sam is really taking care of him. I mean, really showing him the respect that a legend like this fucking deserves with his Friar Tuck haircut. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Sit down.
He's already sitting.
Hold on to the rail.
Fuck the rail.
He fucking fell. I mean, he couldn't catch himself. That was funny. I mean, Riker kind of said he wants to really slowly, like hit it hard. You should have taken it slip. Well, he should have slipped and they couldn't get to him and just.
God damn. Oh man, it's almost. Actually, it ain't almost midnight. It is past midnight. God damn. Falling apart on stream. Kiwi tapes. How old is that, anyways? I didn't know.
I just felt like I smelled poop.
Yeah, it's from a year ago. Because I don't know if he does any live streaming. Not that I want to watch any of that shit. But anyways, it is past midnight. It is way past my bedtime. I got to get up and go to work. And I got to go to the stream here. Let's see if it's... I should be able to do this before the stream is over. Let me see. It's text stream. Text stream. Somewhere in here. Thought they had like a... Not a paid promotion, but the stream might have to be over before me to do that. I don't know. So I can show them my shirt that I'm wearing. Tag that. No, not Kiwi. I was talking about Airsoft Fatty, if he was doing live streams. Because I know Kiwi does with Smokey at times. Yeah, it's in here somewhere, I'm sure. And if it's not, it'll show up once I end the stream. All right, guys. Have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Hope where it applies, I hope your Mother's Day was good and all that jazz. And we will see you tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for watching.